Synth Quiz and news. So sit back, relax. Enjoy your favorite crew. Synth Geekery show. Synth Geekery's where it's at. So join the channel and come on for a chat.
Hey, hi everyone, welcome to Synth Geekery, episode 347. I had to look. Yeah, I know. It's a big number, you know, I can only count after, 10. I've only got 10. After that, you know, we have to use our phones these days, don't we? Anyway, how are we? Are we good? Why is there like, oh, is it just my camera? It's a bit dark, isn't it? Let me fix that.
Yeah, but it's winter.
Indeed. The dark solace of winter.
It's because it's night time.
How's that? Is that better? Right, we are stuck in. I actually nearly didn't make it tonight. We finished a shirt presentation for my son, my youngest son, who is going to represent Australia in Singapore in a couple of weeks' time, and that finished.
Congratulations to that.
Yeah, it's awesome. That finished like 8:30, and we start the show at 9, which is my local time, by the way. So yeah, doing some low-level flying. Chris will know the area well. Had to drive probably about. Usually it's about a 25-minute drive, and it took me about 10 minutes. Oops. Anyway, hi everybody. We don't have Andy yet. We've got some technical problems with Chris. Chris is down the bottom there. He's here in spirit. He's here in audio.
He's thinking hard.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Frame per minute.
Hey, Chris.
What we're going to have to do with Chris is we're going to use the old flag semaphore way of communicating with him this week.
Yeah.
It'll be like the Voyager. We can send a 240 baud message to him. It'll be one bit at a time.
Reconnect.
You're actually fine on Zoom if you want to use that.
The reconnection.
Okay, you try. Anyway, Synth Geekery is here. We are doing the show. We are good. I haven't prepared anything for the show, but that's good because this week we've decided to do the user news section. So, actually, that's not true. I have prepared the memes, and I have prepared the Synth Quiz. So, you know, and the rest I can kind of do as you guys do your bits. So
I could say blag. You can blag it.
I can blag it. Are we going good, boys? Everything good?
Yeah, I've not been in the I've not been in the studio at all this week. I've not even turned the computer on. I've
Right.
put the computer at left for a whole week.
Well, should we do how's your week been? And you can tell us all about how you've not been in the studio. Starting with you, Dan.
Yeah, you can do, but right. Well, I've just told you, I've literally not been in the studio or turned the computer on since last Saturday. So I've done nothing musical whatsoever. Well, I tell a lie, I've just been filling about with my live rig this morning after work. But other than that, nothing. And it's baking hot here, so that's another reason why I've not really been in the studio. And I think it's supposed to get hotter next week, which doesn't look good.
Hot is good.
Hot is good.
I don't mind it being warm. I'm not warm, comfortable, yes. Hot, no.
You don't even know what hot is.
I'd rather go to
No, I
Iceland
don't.
than go to Benidorm.
Okay, so what temperature is? I'm going to look it up. Let's have a look. Manchester
Alright,
current
It doesn't
temperature.
matter. It doesn't matter.
It'll
It's
be
what
something like
temperature is in the
20.
house. Yeah, it's 21, I think. 22. 23. I know it's going to get up to about
21
29
degrees,
next
and
week.
you're saying it's hot.
It's not
It's hot in the house because we've had 21 plus for a long time, for quite a few days now, and it's just cooking in the house. We don't have aircon, so it's just starting to trap the
No
heat in now.
aircon.
You open some windows. Can you open some windows?
The windows are open.
Yeah.
Every single window's open.
Okay.
I think So, and this little tiny box room just cooks.
Grab a little desktop fan from, Costco. Little, 10-pounder.
I've got
That'll
some
do you.
somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm just blowing my own warm air around.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? You could always, we'll teach you all the Australian things to keep cool. Like one of the things you could do in the night is you could have a wet towel next to you, and the towel you could just place it over your forehead, and you could have that fan blowing over it. It's quite nice, quite a nice feeling.
We'll need that next week since we're going up to 29.
Or you could play in the sprinklers in the front yard.
No, we don't have any, so we just have to.
Yeah.
We just wait for the good old.
Use the garden
rain.
hose.
Water ban.
No, we'll
There's
probably on a
ban.
water ban next. Yeah.
I'm thinking about all the
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that we used to do in my childhood. Before air conditioning used to actually, well, it existed. Of course, it existed because it's been around since refrigerated air conditioning has been around for a long time. But it didn't exist in a domestic sense, did it, Ian? Until
It didn't, no.
probably
No.
it was probably
This
more
is
like the
the-
90s, wasn't it? 80s, 90s, I think, air conditioners.
Yeah. This is what you
Andy,
need, Darren. You need one of them, mate.
a little USB fan.
USB fan.
You know-
A little USB fan.
Ian, that's your biggest fan.
It's my only fan.
Oh, it's his
Oops,
channel.
I've let it go.
well,
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's my only fan.
Andy's turned
you've got
up.
a couple of them.
Let's go to this view. Oh,
Hey,
Chris
Andy.
has got frame rates. And you've dropped out of Zoom.
I'll still be late, but yeah, I had to.
The audio's
was
a bit
killing,
behind.
Zoom was
killing
killing
vMix. the
Zoom was
vMix
killing
connection.
vMix. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yes. So I can only do one.
Are you on a Wi-Fi connection in your little studio there?
No. It's
Is it
right, it's Ethernet.
Etherneted?
A little dongle. Yes, Etherneted and a little
Okay.
dongle.
Fair enough. Right. Well, who wants
Speaking
to
of USB,
do?
there was selling
I
USB
think
vapes
it's
for
about-
a while at Macworld and stuff. They had USB vapes so you
It's
can
just
get your
a-
weed
it's
in your
just a laptop.
computer.
Let's go to Ian next
Powered Vivo book.
because Ian said
Okay.
he's hot as well.
Well, I'm warm. It's not hot here. It looks like it's going to rain.
I mean,
it's
20
not,
degrees.
I mean, not like it was yesterday.
I'd love it to be 20 degrees.
It's
It's beautiful.
Although I have got my shorts on, so but I'll only show you from the waist upwards. What have I been doing this week? So I have been mastering the Wave Prophets album, which is now ready and is available to pre-order on Bandcamp. It will be available from the 17th of July. It won't be available on stream until next year. Digital album will be £6 and a limited hand printed by my own hands vinyl CD for £7. What else have I been doing? I bought a Deck Saver cover for the MP3, the Live 3. So they're
looks
available
nice,
now.
actually.
Anybody who's got a,
I like
they're
that.
great actually. Yeah, it's good. It's lovely. Not cheap though. £46.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
It's still cheap. It's cheaper to get it direct from the company than it is to get it from, say, Juno, which is rare, really.
But they are
and I
made
spent-
really well. It's the Deck Saver
I mean-
brand. It's from the UK, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're made really well.
They're from Leeds.
Yeah,
So
that's the one. Yep.
They're a Yorkshire company. Ideally, if I had the money, I'd have all Deck Savers because they
same.
look great. These are all right, these black covers, but they are covering the gear up. I spent most of the week actually because it was quite nice here, apart from Wednesday when it rained a lot. I have been repairing this thing over here, which is I've replaced the amp in it. Actually, it's a Watkins Westminster guitar
Ooh,
combo
sorry about the noise.
from 1960s and was my father's guitar amp. Now, I
Oh,
blew
wow.
up the amp when I was 15.
Oh, nice.
Ripped out the amp, and I found a little. It's not a valve; it's transistorized amp. But so I've now got it working with the original speaker, and actually the original speaker, because it's 1960s, sounds amazing. So that's all. I spent most of the week doing that.
What were you
actually, out in
playing?
the sun.
What were you playing when you blew it up?
I just bought a synth so it was working. I do need to rewire it from the speaker to the amp at some point because I've got tape joints at the moment just to make sure it works. But so that's the next job. But no, it does work and it's great. And the idea is that the amp can just pull out and then slot back in.
Nice.
So
That's fantastic.
So that's my week.
Fantastic. Ian, I'm gonna go to me. It's all about me.
Oh yeah.
That is my deck saver for the MPC Live, right? And that is from 2017. So I mean, it probably needs a little bit of a Windex because it's got fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at that. That's not bad for 2007.
Yeah.
It was nearly 10 years old. So they do last, and that's the thing.
I've got one for the OPZ, and it protects it so well when it's in a little bag. You know?
Yeah, I got a few. I got one for the Force. There's a whole bunch over there. One on the what do you call it? MX1 mixer. They're really good, actually, Daren, on the MX ones. They're really good for that because I never really wanted anything to get inside the MX1 or the faders and stuff like that. Right, who is next? We're going to go. Andy's turned up, so we'll go Andy. Oh, Chris, you'll go last, Chris.
Thank you.
Because you still got
Yeah,
an audio
deck savers
delay.
rule. Machina Plus deck saver.
Okie
there you
dokie.
go. So yeah, good stuff. How's my week? Well, I got back from Pittsburgh land and
You are indeed back.
been recovering on sleep. I was sleep deprived for several days, especially the last leg. It was a layover flight with a 2-stop, and it was delayed like 3 or 4 hours on top of that. So I didn't get home till like 2:30 in the morning on Tuesday. So that's pretty wiped out. On top of being tired from the trip, also tired from the flight. Stuck in the Denver airport, which actually was kind of interesting, but not for that many hours. But yeah, other than that, not too much going on. They've got we've got the World Cup stuff going on here. Crazy. I've been watching a bunch of it here and there, and they have it in San Francisco and Dallas, and God, it's all over the damn place, all over the U.S. The World Cup's gone crazy. They just had a live game last night in San Francisco, which I didn't get up to until after it was over, so I didn't get any rides from it. But I did have to say it was kind of funny. I was watching the Australia. What was it? The Australia-US game, right? It was an Australia-US?
Australia-US, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's this tall guy, like this super tall dude on the Australia team. And he was like a big brute. Like he was like, I know soccer is kind of a contact sport, but these guys are like fouling left and right, grabbing people, grabbing their shirts, pushing them. I know a little bit of body checking's normal, but these guys are like bear hugs and choking and all kinds of shit. So it's like, it's not soccer, right? I thought soccer was supposed to be, I mean, it's not rugby and it's not whatever the other rules football is. I forgot what it's called, but these guys should be being called for more fouls than they are. It's kind of wild. It's I don't know. It's kind of strange, but I'm not obviously a big soccer aficionado, so I don't know what it's supposed to be like that. But lots of grabbing. Like you're not supposed to use your hands at all. Apparently, it's okay to choke somebody, pull their shirt, push them, do all kinds of shit with their hands. Just don't touch the ball, right? And it's kind of just eye-opening for me, I guess, because I had friends playing soccer growing up, but I didn't really get exposed to it that much. But I'm watching lots of it on TV, and it's kind of interesting. But
It was probably normal.
They like to do that now.
If I'm being honest with you,
They like
Andy,
that.
it was probably normal, mate. What you saw wasn't
normal?
it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I don't think. I think probably half the fouls went against you guys. Probably half the fouls went against us. I think it was pretty even, and I think a lot of people
Because they always have this look like, oh, I did what? And when they just clearly grabbed the guy and choked him and pushed him, and it's like, of course you did. Don't pretend you didn't.
They're trained to do it, and it's all. And
trained. Also all the fakery when they fall on the ground and pretend they're extra pain, you know.
Yeah.
And
that's the one that makes me laugh. They get bumped on the head and they roll over and they grab their ankle in pain.
But one of my passengers who's into soccer said, he likes watching the female soccer because they don't pull that shit most of the time. They just play, they just deal with it. They get hurt, they just keep going. The guys seem to be a little wimpier.
Well, see, apparently they don't get paid the same, and they see as soon as the pay stat, it became ridiculous.
It's a performance.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
more money means more lightweight. So.
Oh yeah. It's like they get fouled, but they don't get fouled, and they can roll around for half an hour, and then they come off actually literally injured, usually because of them falling over themselves.
The thing that
years ago, they used to come off with bandages with blood around the head, but now it's just
But like the hooligans, right? The soccer hooligans, don't they want to attack the players for being
absolutely
pansies?
The thing that happened to me a couple of weeks ago, my daughter plays. She plays for the women's team, and it's open. She's technically she's not an adult yet. She's only got a couple of months ago. She turns 18, but she plays for the open women's because that's the level she's at, and she's playing. She's a striker, so she's a forward, right? And she had the ball. It was literally perfect pass. She grabbed it. She was heading towards the goal. And this defender knew that she wouldn't be able to catch her because she was a bit chubby and she probably didn't have the leg speed. So she just fouls her from behind, and it's completely not on because the rules are you've got to attempt to try and go for the ball, not for the player. You're going to go for the player.
Yeah.
It was in the box, right? So it's perfect storm for a penalty because she fouled her. It was deliberate. It was in the box. Now, if this was a game in the UK, that would have been probably a red card. It would have been an instant penalty, right? This wasn't even a yellow card. The girl just got warned by the ref. My daughter, she got a free kick outside the box. I was going off my nut on the sideline.
Wow. Steam coming out of
the ref. I was a linesman. So a linesman is another ref, right? So I was a linesman. What they do in community soccer is they'll appoint one person from one team and another person from the other team to do both lines, right? And then that way it's kind of, usually you get some twat calling the wrong offside call because he doesn't know the rules. And it really shits me too because it's not actually that hard to call offside. Anyway, so this guy on the other side, he's calling offside all game. And no one's offside. It's like, mate, learn the friggin' rules. Anyway, the ref had to talk to him at half time. This foul that happened on my daughter was in the second half. What does the ref do? He goes up to this guy and says, oh, was she in the box? The guy that was like complete numpty land all game long. I'm on the other side. I saw the whole thing. He didn't even ask me. And I'm like, I threw the flag up in the air, and all the coaches bench, they were cracking up laughing at me. They thought it was hilarious.
Now I get why there's so many fights.
But you might have thought you'd have been
frustrating,
right?
It's a highly frustrating game.
It is.
Because like American football, they just fight because they're aggressive, and it's really aggressive on field. It's normal. I just didn't think that.
I like American football, though. I'm not into soccer at all. I prefer a game of rugby or American football. I do like American football a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, American football is another topic. So, but why don't we put a pin in that for a sec? And because it looks like Chris is actually working. Chris is actually an AI, and we've actually rebooted the machine, and he's working.
You get the Matrix color. He looks like he's in the Matrix. So.
Do the clap again, Chris. I didn't catch it.
I don't know if it's in sync or not.
Yeah, it's not bad. That'll do.
Yeah, that's good.
It might be like a millisecond or so out.
It's 1 second of delay on the video to link up with the audio, which is why I'm going to be 1 second behind whenever anyone says anything. But anyway, how's my week been? Well, my week's been pretty good. I've been finishing the auto calibration mode in my module. I've been learning PowerPoint because, believe it or not, I've managed to stay out of that for 25 plus years or something that has been around. didn't know the first thing about it, and started learning it this week. I've done a few 3D prints. I've 3D printed, designed and 3D printed a stand for my little multimeter. Quality of life stuff, this. And designed my first flexure. Now, what's a flexure? People may or may not know what a flexure is, but a flexure is a compliant mechanism, it's known. In design or industrial design, it is basically a mechanism which complies, moves. So like springs or levers and things like that. Anyway, I did my first one and it actually worked, so I'm very pleased with that.
I thought a flexure was a fill-in position in Depeche Mode. So.
And that's you. That's Andy.
Yeah.
Anyway, other than that, I've been looking into web hosting and researching Stripe payments because Ranzee mentioned it last week and I didn't actually know what the hell it was. So,
well,
that's my week.
If you need any more help with that, let me know because that's my world.
Oh yeah, I'll need a good chat with you, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of that.
Awesome. And your camera's working. It's fine. Look at that. Hey? Chris.
For now. I've got backup microphones and things are failing over here left, right and centre.
Now, guys, the show this week, right? The show this week. Let's get this out of the way so we can move on to the next segment. We do not have news prepared. Remember, I warned you guys last week we're going to do the user suggest a topic for news, and that's what we did it a couple of weeks ago, and it was a pretty cool, fun thing to do, I thought, anyway. And if you don't like it, bad luck. Anyway, I have prepared the synth quiz. I have prepared the memes. We haven't prepared the news, and Ian has prepared on this day. If I get time, we might be able to squeeze a price watch. We haven't done one for a little while, and a few people have been saying to me what happened to price watch. So don't worry about that. We'll see if we can get something happening there. But anyway, while you're looking at the memes and the news and the memes and the quiz, have a think about what topic it is that you want us to cover in the news, and whoever shouts the loudest will probably get picked. Right? Shall we do laugh first or meme synth quiz first? What do you want to do? Your choice.
Laugh.
I said quiz about 1 second ago.
Well, you missed.
Sorry, Chris.
Now, there is an audio for this. I'm going to pop it in.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously, it looks pretty cool. You know who that is, don't you guys?
Yeah. It's Benny. It's Mr. Benny.
It's
Mr.
Benny.
Benny.
Mr. Yakety Sax
Bobby's
himself.
time.
Yeah.
Guys, here we go.
Yeah.
Ready? Here's the audio.
When again you find yourself with synths upon your shelf, and inspiration isn't your best friend, just buy another synthesizer. Never mind the cost, because your synth addiction shall not end while twirling every knob. Please know it's not your job to justify the means to your pitch bend. You may not have a life, and you may offend your wife, but synthesizers love you till the end.
There you go. Benny Hill.
Oh,
Ooh. That was all AI, by the way. And Steve Smith brought that one into us. Thanks, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty clever, isn't it? Right,
Good
next.
work. Good work.
Clever, yeah.
That's actually one of the better Benny Hill routines. So
Yeah. Anyway.
That's just Yakety Sax. You stole that. So that's,
Yeah.
Next, we have music for Reflux. Eno is the brand.
That's superb.
Yes.
Now, where? There, Andy. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Andy.
I find that
Could be a winner for me.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sparkling
so Reflex
antacid.
is a GERD brand synthesizer. You guys know GERD.
Gerd. Gerd is the word. Gerd.
yes.
Airport bathrooms. Yeah, good one, Mags.
The reflux.
I said Synth Lord, not Sith Lord.
These are great.
Someone's been very busy with the AI this week.
Yeah.
Another Steve Smith one. That one. And the last one is when you find out your wife is selling your doorless gear for the price you told her you bought it for.
Yeah.
That's Jason,
Stop
by the way.
car.
Jason Statham.
Isn't it? The Statham. The Stace.
The Stath man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, guess what I haven't released? The chatbot.
Oh, come on, Dennis. Wake up.
Release the chatbot.
While we're doing that, why don't we go to us and
Release the chatbot.
it'll be there. Just settle down. It actually, the software hasn't even started on my computer yet. It's like doing this right now on my screen.
Good old progress bar.
We should do the Benny Hill song
fun.
again. Oh, there we go. It started now. Oh, it wants an update. No, do not update. Go away. All right, poll. We are going to go best meme. Option 1 was Benny Hill.
It was.
Option 2 was Eno. Wasn't it? Was it Eno? Yeah. Hang on. Let me just double check. It was definitely Eno, but I just want to double check if that's the right order. Where's me folder gone? Yep, Eno it was. Option 3 was Synth Lord. And option 4 was should we just go? We'll just go Statham. Statham.
Stace, yeah.
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 Statham. Go. Launched. Has he done it?
Okay.
Is he behaving? Oh, he's done it.
He has
What a
done
good
it.
lad, Dennis.
Yeah.
So is Statham the guy who's leveraged soccer the most of anybody for another career? Is that he must be the most successful soccer guy, right?
That was
Vinny
he?
Jones,
No, I wasn't.
Vinny
I mean,
Jones did it for a while.
David
No,
Beckham.
Statham was never a soccer player.
David Beckham, I would say.
Oh, he wasn't? What was he?
Statham was never a soccer player. He was always an actor.
Yeah.
I think.
I'd say-
I thought he was a former sports guy or something.
Nah. I would say David Beckham, Andy, would be your answer to that question.
Beckham? Yeah.
Yep. Made an absolute fortune out of soccer.
But he didn't act or anything, right?
It makes
He was
even
in-
more
he was
out
in
of
movies.
advertising now.
Bex was in heaps of movies.
Beckham?
Yeah, he's been in heaps of
was?
movies. Yeah. It's like cameo roles, though. They're like, he plays himself.
Yeah, he's done a
He's not an
couple of
actor.
movies as well,
He just
hasn't
plays himself.
No, he's not. It's just
There's been movies about him, too. That's how you know you've made it. People making movies about you.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Bend
got
it like Beckham being a classic.
7, 8 votes. We're not quite there. We haven't reached the threshold. Come on, there's 40-something people watching, and there's only 8
Why
votes.
keep
What's
not
going
voting for
on?
Eno?
There we go. We've reached 11 now. Oh, I don't know, man. If I stopped it right now, Ian, you would not be happy. Oh, yeah, I don't know. You might be.
I'm not going to be happy because nobody else. There's only me, I think. There's only
No
me.
one's voted for Benny Hill yet.
For Brian. I've met Brian Eno. He's a lovely man.
Poor Benny Hill.
I was a bit starstruck.
You know what? Benny's dead, so he's not going to give a shit. The poll's finished.
Literally.
The winning one
What?
was Statham.
I'm going home now. That's it.
I know, this is what I mean.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. That's it.
I'm with you, Ian. Every week, should we go together? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, we'll go together. Leave it to everybody else.
Every week, someone votes for the meme that I don't like. It's like,
Well, Holmeson's Brian Hill.
I just won't share those memes anymore. Right, now, did I do the quiz properly? I think I did.
That guy.
Oh, I did. Good.
The quiz.
Just making sure I did the quiz properly. Where's the little thing? Here we go. All right, now before I do anything, last week we didn't quite get commands working properly, so I'm going to make sure they work. So we'll clear the quiz. Make sure Dennis responds. He did. And then we'll start the quiz. Make sure Dennis responds. Maybe I didn't press enter.
Dennis.
I don't know, Wags. I think I didn't press enter or something. It's probably my fault. Anyway, it's saying it's ready. Okay, cool. First clue is down there. Power grounding issue. What could that possibly be? That will start you guys. That will start you off on a massive rabbit hole. Yes, it will.
Shortlist.
Anyway, we have got news to do, and like I said, it's up to you. We're not going to go to that. Oh, wait. Stop. That's last week's. Right. So, in chat, I don't know if anyone's mentioned anything yet. I haven't been watching. Who's my moderators? Moderators, has anyone mentioned anything in chat that they would like to put on the news?
I've not seen anything, but there again, I'm struggling with buffeting.
Yeah.
So
Buffeting?
Buffeting, yeah. So I'm getting everything's a bit laggy, audio and video.
Okay.
As long as it looks all right your end, I can cope with it.
You're looking swagger, mate. My end. You're looking fine.
Let's go. I think it's because I updated the operating system on the Mac. It doesn't like it.
Okay. Well, give him a sec. Give him a sec. We'll just see what I've got here. Because if we don't have anything, we can just go over to Chris, because Chris has got something, and I think that's probably a good start. Chris, give him a chance to warm up to the idea of what they want to suggest. Yeah, are you ready? Ready as you'll ever be.
I have to pop out of here for a moment and then come back into Zoom, back in via Zoom.
Oh, you want to go Zoom? Okay,
So
we can do that.
I'll try going Zoom first.
Yeah.
Because that probably was better quality. So we'll see how excellently that works.
How brilliantly. Where's my little thing gone? There it is. Okay.
Yep, here comes the chop. Here comes the choppiness. Yeah. Yes.
I can change you, by the way. I can change your image to the Zoom image. That's not a problem. You're not in Zoom yet, by the way.
Hang on. I'm waiting for Zoom to come up. Literally. Now how do you go back to your previous call?
Just that link I gave you. Just click on it.
Get there via very. Did you give me a link?
Yeah.
Did you give me a link?
In the Discord.
Okay.
In Discord, love.
Oh god. That will work better because
We've got our first topic as well.
Link. Okay.
Okay, Stevie Smith.
Oh, good.
We want. Okay, it's a great topic, but we want products that have come out in the last week or so. That's what we want. Chris is still not in yet.
Come on.
No.
So
MPC Live 3.
I probably didn't articulate myself properly. Products that have come out in the last week or so. I know, for example, that I did not talk about the Arturia Mini Key or whatever it was that came out a couple of weeks ago. The new Arturia Mini Lab or Mini Key or Mini Moke.
Mini something.
Is it Key Lab?
Mini Pekka.
It's a Mark II MPE 1, isn't it? Is that right? Is that the Mark II version of that that's come out this week? I'm thinking why? Anyway.
Okay.
My Mac is working really slow right now.
So is mine.
Mini Lab 37 was the thing that came out recently. Okay, Chris is now in Zoom, and I can hear an echo. So what I'm going to do, Chris, is I'm going to mute your vMix call. There we go.
I'm telling you, everybody, it's the heat.
He probably doesn't want me
The
to.
heat is causing problems.
I might even open the window.
Boo. Yeah, I can't actually use Chris's audio. Why don't we just go over to this for a second anyway, where we're waiting for Chris. This is the Mini Lab 37. I did look at this was it about a week ago or so? 149 euros is the price. It's the new, their new take on that, universal MIDI controller that they've had out for a while. This is their latest one. It does come. The thing with these Arturia MIDI controllers is they come really, really well bundled with software. Really, really well.
Yeah.
And you get a stack of stuff. There's fantastic DAW integration with these. But let's just go into the actual. I mean, the software I think is the killer part. Let's go into the included software. So you get Analog Lab. It's an intro version. So they want you obviously to try the stuff out, but they don't give you the full-blown version. Analog Lab is amazing, by the way. If you've never had Ableton before, that's a free way to get it. I know it comes with just about anything these days.
It's a start, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a start. And Ableton's getting pretty pricey, to be fair, at the moment. I think it's almost it's almost too expensive for some people. They're going to start pushing they're doing it already, but Ableton are going to start pushing their monthly subscription caper. So anyway, you get NI Complete Select, which is a cut down version of NI Complete, of course. I mean, I'm not going to give you that for free, are they? Melodics is there, and you get I think I'm not sure what the deal is with Loop Cloud, whether they give you an intro subscription or they give you a trial, but there's a Loop Cloud thing in there as well. And I mean, this just goes into sort of showing you what those included pieces of software are. Now, I actually think the intro version of Analog Lab is actually pretty good. Just to sort of wet your whistle. And if you're a beginner or you're starting out with synths, we talked about this the other day, and you can't afford, money's tight, you can't afford a piece of hardware right now. Well, this is kind of like a hybrid. This is like it is getting a piece of hardware, but obviously you've got to plug it into your laptop or your PC or your Mac, and you get all these, 500 presets and a whole bunch of sound banks and things like that. With the Analog Lab intro version, you get the Ableton Live Lite, so you got yourself a DAW. Now, Analog Live Lite will actually let you. I think you can do 8 tracks. Is that right, Daren? Is that from your memory? Is it 8 tracks?
I think it's 8. I've got it actually because I used to have full blown. I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's 8
I mean, you can do a fair bit with 8 tracks.
Do a lot with 8 tracks.
Yeah,
you can.
Oh yeah.
Melodics.
You get 8 tracks. And obviously, you miss a few of the synths and a few of the. It's cut down. Yeah. Melodics is amazing. So you get this, and this Melodics is actually really cool. If you're wanting to sort of get into keyboards and understand a little bit about music theory and stuff, it's quite a visual piece of software. I actually think the guys behind Melodics have done a really, really good job. There's a whole bunch of lessons in here as well. So, and it's not just keyboard skills. There's also like drum padding and things like that in there as well. And here we go. It's going to tell us about the Loop Cloud. That's one I didn't know about. So you get a 2-month studio plan. Okay, that's pretty good. So you can muck around for 2 months with it. Now, I will tell everyone a little caveat about this. I guess this is not necessarily Loop Cloud's caper, but just beware of any sample library type deal that you've got with any sample library out there. Check the terms and conditions, because if you decide to write a track and that track becomes commercial, you need to check the back fine print of what those samples are that you've used on that
Then you
track.
have another subscription paying for the samples.
Yeah, and they might lock you in to keeping that subscription active for the life of that track being public, or I don't know. You need to check, right? So it's a little. I feel like it's a little irky, that grey area, isn't it?
Yeah, some people have had problems with that, haven't they? I mean, there was a guy, was it last year before, put out a track and it became quite popular, and then had to take it down because the samples that were used in it. I mean, my advice is make your own samples. Now,
the other thing about this is actually a pretty decent piece of hardware. Okay, yeah, it's tiny. It's supposed to be compact, but Arturia, I think they're getting better and better at manufacturing gear. They're learning from their mistakes, like a good manufacturer should. So what's new on the actual hardware is that you get, the standard 37 slim key thing that you'd see on the key step. I feel like it'd be the same. I'm guessing. Why would they do a different? I don't think they would. But the interactivity with this is improved. They give you new clip launching capabilities. They give you, 37 keys is bigger than their previous one, so you got more keys. But you get that side of expanded thing. Hands-on control with the OLED displays, I think, quite a nice touch. And you got that creative toolkit that they're talking about. So there you go.
That's the features that are improved. It's the build quality, because the original model they had, the small controller like this, was horrible.
There you go. There you go. So that is the Arturia Key Lab 37. So I didn't show that last week because I just didn't think it was good enough. Now, Chris, how are we? Are you hearing us? You're
on
there.
Zoom.
Okay. You're on Zoom. Do you want me to show the Zoom call?
Yes, please.
All right. And is the audio coming through Zoom or the audio coming through vMix? Not vMix. Okay, cool.
vMix. No, vMix.
All right, gotcha.
It is coming through vMix.
Okay, so I've got the vMix audio going, and I've got your Zoom going. You're good to go, fella.
Good. Okay, cool. Hello. Can everyone see that right?
Yep.
We can, yeah. Yep.
Hello?
Yep.
Yes, I just clicked. What are we looking at? Okay, this is the Skylark. Or is it the Skillark?
Yeah.
You
2 L's.
It's got 2 L's.
I quite like
to be honest,
Skillark.
I couldn't decide, so I quite like Skillark. It sounds kind of Nordic.
It's got 2 syllables.
And it sounds like skill. It sounds like skill too, which this module is quite skilled at doing things.
And it's not Skrillex. That's good. So
Yeah, can we put an umlaut over the air?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's have an umlaut.
Oh yes, we probably can. We probably can. More umlauts the better.
Depends on which
So, Hal, welcome to
emphasis you're going to put on the syllable.
Okay. Okay, gentlemen. What we're looking at here is the Skillark, which is the upcoming module from Makeshift Modular. And it is a programmable CV tool. And I'll more about the programmability in a moment. But you'll be quite pleased because there is software involved. So for software people, they could quite enjoy this as well. Anyway, let's concentrate on the hardware to start with. What we have is 6 CV inputs down the bottom there. And another 6 CV outputs with switchable voltage ranges. As you can see, there's 4 in the center of the module. There's 4 range selecting switches. The other 2 are on the back. So they're all available, but only the back for the 5 and 6. And has 6 assignable knob parameters. They're really, I like to call them macro knobs because they can control many different things simultaneously. It has 6 assignable buttons. These buttons have, as well as having functions within the module, they also have functions within a patch, depending on, and you can juggle that, how you want that to be. It has 6 LED, behind LED grills, and they're all, and 6 bi-coloured CV outputs. The RGB LEDs, so much like my last module with the colours, so it's quite colourful, which is really good because the colours can be very important when we're talking about patches and stuff like that. Dedicated MIDI input and output, and a dedicated sync input, and with a pair of AB switches on the back for type A or type B MIDI. So I got you covered there. So what is the sort of firmware running on this module? What does it do? So what we have here is 5 patches that you can run at one time. At one time in the module, loaded into the module, you have a choice of 5 patches that you can select from when it's in your rack. Obviously you can load those patches into it and any combination of different patches, up to 5 of them at once. Each patch has correct parameters, and the 6 knobs can be mapped to all of those parameters or none of those parameters, and it has layering so that you can swap between layered parameters. If you want to have an extra parameter but it's hidden behind the other, you can do the whole swap by pressing the button thing. Each patch runs a block style programming environment known as tiny blocks, optimized for small 8-bit MCUs. Now that probably is underselling it a bit because it's written in C and it's completely portable to upscalable to any other CPU, but this was written from the ground up to be capable of running on lesser powered devices, which means lower cost basically. A bit less so now, because when I started this project, the CPU MCU market hadn't really kind of exploded like it has now, and now we have an absolute plethora of inexpensive CPUs, MCUs. However, those MCUs have a lot of caveats. For example, they're cheap, but they also have very restrictive voltage ranges, and you have to create a lot of module infrastructure around the circuitry to bring them into the eurorack world. It's quite a big startup in sort of time and effort to get these new CPUs going. So that's why I started with sort of a previous generation of CPUs, and that's what this language has been optimized to run on. You have manual or auto calibration of your volts per octave on all 6 CV outputs. Those ranges do work. So if you have a 5-volt range or a 10-volt range, you can have and if you use bipolar mode, you can technically get 10 octaves of bipolar voltage, which is a bit unusual. There are not many oscillators I've come across, but there are a few notable ones that, for example, there tend to be oscillators that are digital in nature, and so they tend to have the ability to go to very low octaves at negative voltages. Not super common, but this module can cover it, which is quite handy because I've got 1 or 2 modules that's like that. So yep, talked about that. It has an internal step sequencer, which is 6 steps. As you can see, the number of knobs, it matches the number of knobs, the number of buttons, and the number of LEDs. However, what we have is a step sequencer which permutates. So taking those 6 steps, you can turn them into up to 16 step patterns using various permutations or transmogrification if you want to get fancy. I just made that word up actually. Came from Red Dwarf, I think. Next, and I think I can keep on hearing my echo coming. 16-bit internal control voltages and automation buses. So yeah, basically it's a 16-bit system internally. The outputs are 12-bit and the inputs are 10-bit. It has native MIDI implementation, including a basic program change function, so you can change patches via MIDI. It has a full 14-bit CC macro automation, so you can automate the positions of your macro knobs as if you're turning those knobs. So you can literally, say, for example, map it to a controller you've got with your knobs on it and stuff like that. If you don't want to have to interact with a module all the time, could be very handy. The full MIDI implementation, however, is completely available in the TinyBlocks programming environment, and that's where you can get access to pretty much everything to do with MIDI. Okay, it has, as I mentioned before, it has 12-bit DAC outputs, which is selectable between -5 and +5, or 0-5, or 0 to 10. I've kind of found a lot of the time 0 to 5 is quite the most useful, but 0 to 10 can sometimes be quite fun as well. I hardly use the bipolar for pitch CV, but it's very, very useful for like LFOs and things like that, which we'll get to in a moment. And as I said, 10 ADC voltage inputs, 0 to 5 volts for inputs. Limited range because there's really pretty much running out of panel space to add switches and selectors and fun stuff like that. There will be an option to potentially change that to 0 to 10 volts with like a circuit mod, like a jumper, solder a jumper and something like that. I haven't quite finalized that aspect of it because it kind of requires a bit of time to push this mod around and give it to a few people and see what what situations it actually would be a benefit for. It has it has bypassable low pass filtering on channels 1 to 4. The idea is a normal DAC, especially a 12-bit one, which is kind of crunchy style. It's not a super high resolution thing, which can sometimes be really, really cool, because it creates some really awesome zipping sounds, especially when you do bit reduction. It gets really chunky and it can be quite a feature, quite an effect. However, sometimes you just want a nice smooth sine wave that happens over a long period of time. In those circumstances, what you would probably do, I would recommend you probably do, is that you install a jumper on the back, and that puts a low pass filter on the DAC, which means that it'll smooth out all the voltages. Now it means that it will slow down the response a bit, but it means that you get a really smooth sort of almost analog style output from your 12-bit, from your digital outputs, rather than something a bit more steppy. It's definitely one of those things you kind of experiment with, I think, because I've been playing around with stuff here, and a lot of the stuff I've been using without filtering, and sometimes it kind of shows up and sometimes it really doesn't. So it's quite interesting. It's not something that you see on a lot of modules though. Usually that's all sort of hidden behind the circuitry and the decision of the module maker. They have pretty firm ideas about how they want it to behave. Whereas I'm giving this option to people to choose who buy the module, so that they can decide what kind of sound they prefer. Right, and the LED grills, yes, they were partly inspired by the Stones from the movie The Fifth Element, as I am a huge Fifth Element fan. And that's that nice little glowing picture there. So that may be familiar. But that's the idea, that's the inspiration behind them. Just so that you can kind of get a visual cue as to what is what. And when you see the software in a moment, you'll see that those symbols are used in the software as well. So, onto the software. So, this module comes with free software. A free software editor to load and build patches and manage the module hardware itself, all via MIDI. It's written in a platform-independent Qt5. So I've got PC working now because that's what I develop in here. Mac will be coming later. But it's a portable system which is supposed to work on both, so I'm looking forward to giving that a spin. You can upload individual patches, or you can upload banks of 5 directly from the GUI. You don't have to run any third-party software. You just run the blocks editor, and it has MIDI built into it. You can download and upload the volts per octave, that's pitch CV volts per octave, DAC calibration tables. Now this could be useful, for example, if you have a particular set of oscillators, you tune each individual channel to just that oscillator to get as tight a response as you need, which is great if you've got oscillators that kind of they'll change a bit. You can I think I showed it last week. The auto calibration only takes about 9 seconds, so that's even practical possibly to do during a live set, for example, if you've got oscillator drift or things like that. So the idea between the tables and being able to save and load them on the software means that you can basically restore a setup that you had. Maybe your rack contains a certain set of oscillators, and then you're experimenting with a different rack, and then you want to change it back to the previous. You can set up, and it's a snapshot, and then you can restore it again at a later time. Now, people don't have to learn how to code to use this software. It's a completely visual block-based language. It's similar in a way to some of your other block-based languages, but there are differences, which I'll go into in a moment. But it's basically, if you've seen those kind of pure data and max MSP, you've seen those kind of, that way it kind of looks. But it's simpler. It's simpler, but it contains advanced sort of macroizing functions. So a lot of the blocks can be really simple building blocks, or you can use like I just want a block that does all of the basic envelope functions in one block. That is provided for people who want to do things quickly, and also building blocks are provided for people who want to sort of build it all themselves and have complete control. There are implied connections that are maintained by the software rather than you having to do a lot of laborious patching. People who've used Pure Data and Max MSP will know the pain of having to set up your default connections. And I know the software has gotten better over the years. Max MSP in particular is better at sort of automatically creating them. But Pure Data is very much seems to be still stuck in the dark ages, and I found it very frustrating.
Yeah, it's still a pain though. It is still a pain, Chris.
It's still a pain, yes. Yeah. So the idea behind this is to eliminate some of the laborious patching by setting up. Sometimes it's just doing it automatically, which is useful. And other times it's a paradigm shift. We may have to learn slightly. It doesn't take long to learn, and once you work out how it works, you can see how to work with it and work around. Sometimes you may have to change the way you would normally design something, but the software sort of walks you through it. It uses a simple bus routing system, so rather than having billions of cables running all across your screen, going any which way, you've got a bus system. So it'll be clearer when I show in the software, but a bus system basically means you kind of have a conduit, like a plumbing system, almost like I was going to say a sewer system. That probably doesn't give the right impression, but it's a system of sort of piping that goes between every channel, interweaves in a very predictable way, and all of the connections that you need to do between channels, for example, are done through this bus system. So that keeps everything very clean and sort of geometric. It'll become a bit clearer when I show the software. So it's designed to be simpler and have less resistance to entry than other block-based languages, as I mentioned, Pure Data and Max. So the idea is you don't have to learn tricks, you don't have to learn the basics of, principles. Pure Data in particular is the one I scream at regularly, because it does some nasty things to you that makes sense when it was written 20, 30, 40 years ago, whatever it is, by a mathematician, probably. Okay, so this is a blank sheet. I wonder why it's a blank sheet. Probably because I'm about to say something. Yes. I'll get to the software pretty quickly, actually. I think this is taking a while, but I'll just go briefly over to what's in the software. You've got LFOs, simple and compos. You've got ADSRs, EGs, simple and complex EGs, like I mentioned before. Quantizing, there's a full musical scale with custom scale quantizing blocks. As I said, there's MIDI, comprehensive MIDI reception and generation blocks. Flexible and easy to use knob CV mapping. So then I tried to keep the mapping of knobs kind of specialized for that task, which makes it a bit easier, because you don't have to kind of do maths in your head to work out how to map a parameter from point A to point E. You basically just say what parameter value you want it to go from and to. There are sample and hold blocks, and there's a bit of logic processing. So the logic heads out there want to do binaries and ands and all that kind of stuff, and cool sample and hold stuff, which is what the patch I'm running here at the moment is doing a bit of sample and hold, which I'll get to in a moment, which is quite good fun. It has external clocking, which can and also does clock generation. That's also included. MIDI clocking is included as well. By the way, the LFOs are tempo synced to input clocks if you require it. Logic symbols, I talked about logic symbols. It also has pulse generation, which can be useful for generating gates and triggers for other modules. And it also has switching, which is a basic sort of, they're called faucets in some block languages. Basically valves, things that you can use a logic system to turn on and off other events, which can be useful for, opening and closing floodgates of triggers and things like that. And it contains, as I said before, the step sequencer, which will be 16-step patterns that are derived from the internal six-step sequencer. If you require it, you can also unlink it from the internal step sequencer and just generate preset patterns or randomly generated patterns, things like that. It's pretty easy to do all that. So before we go there, I reckon we'll go to sharing another screen, which is the actual software. So just bear with me for a moment. I've got to actually run the software. Okay. Hello. Yes, screen sharing is turned off. Yes, I know, because I'm going to run the screen. Is it running? Is it firing up? I did press F5. Is it running? Yes, it is slowly running. Sorry, my computer is running very slow because it's just a little Asus VivoBook. And it's not, obviously not quite up to doing all of this at once. So hopefully at some point in time it'll actually fire up the software. Otherwise, oh, it's already running. Okay, I'm an idiot. No surprise to anyone. So sharing screen time. Let's have a look at him. Yes.
Yeah, but you're a clever idiot, Chris. That's the thing.
Most smart people are idiots.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Hello. Welcome to Tiny Blocks. This is a patch. I'll just, I got to, yes, I did just try and click the presentation screen rather than the actual software. So this is currently a patch I have loaded at the moment. The basic layout of this of a patch, as it were, I'll just zoom out to show this to you, is module on the left, a simulation sort of visual representative module featuring the inputs. On the right hand side is the representation of the same module. It's not a different module, it's actually the same module, showing the output routing. This is the only messy part, cable mess, that you get from it, though. As you can see, within the area where there are actually blocks, see that the flow is quite, you know, basically the visual, it's quite visually clean, I'm trying to say. At the top you have a section here which gives you your documentation about the patch, your patch name, description of what the patch is, what the target device is. At the moment there is only the Skylark, but there is possibly another module also in the works, which is a smaller thing. In the middle you've got your assignments of the controls on the Skylark. So if you look at the module, you can see that this area here kind of represents the buttons down the middle, and that represents the LEDs and the knobs. And basically you control what macro you want to be assigned to what knob. And if you want to, say for example, add a shadow knob, or what I call a layer, you can do it this way as well by defining it here, and then you've got two parameters mapped to that knob that you swap between using the button in the actual module. So I'll just undo that. I do actually have undo, but I don't want to tempt fate during a live demo.
My knob casts a bit of a shadow.
Software after all. So, and in the middle here, this is just a representation of whether your knob is momentary or toggle. So it basically gives you momentary, toggle, or buttons not used at all. So if you're not using a button because you don't need it, and it then defaults to being useful for example, swapping parameters. So for example, this would be, if I wanted to use that button between those two parameters, that's how I would assign it. But if I want that button to do something more interesting in the patch, I could set it to toggle, or I could set it to momentary, and these buttons are individually addressable from a button input block, which we'll get to later. On the right hand side, it's basically just a kind of sort of more documentation again, but it's basically a sort of like a cheat card to tell you basically you save basically, so you can keep track of it, and so that you can, there will be some other software coming and potentially printing out of little templates that you might be putting over the module to help with some of these inevitable problems with having different patches and trying to remember what a patch does, which is always a problem generally with any of these multi, program modules. That is usually solved by going to much bigger, expensive screens, which increases the budget, which is not something I wanted for this particular project. So this is the way we're going to do it instead. So yeah, you basically, that's where you put in what you want to change. This is peel the banana, peel banana. Okay, so that's what that thing does. So then we get into the actual, so the patch area or channel area, I call it. Basically, each channel in the module, you see that each module has, each section has a number associated with it, and there's 6 of those numbers. So each one of these sections here is an individual channel, and you drop your blocks basically in the channel that you want to do stuff with, but it's not restricted in the way that you can do things across channels, and you can sometimes, well, for example, in this patch I control 2 different outputs from the one channel, so it's not super rigid. Basically you can break from the paradigm whenever it's convenient, which tends to be really important when you're trying to create patches that have a lot of power in them but don't take up a lot of code space. This was I found this to be quite a good solution for allowing you to sort of problem solve, or to solve design goals without being too restricted, but also guiding you in a lot of ways, so that when you have the luxury of laying things out in a channel, you can, which makes it of course a lot easier to read. Only more advanced patches do you need to sort of break the paradigm, and when you need to, you can. So basically blocks are here. Now, one of the things about blocks is that they're sort of, think of the software as being sort of like a butler. So what it does is it kind of keeps everything clean for you. So for example, if I change the order of blocks like this, it keeps everything neat and tidy. If I move things out of the way, it snaps things back into order. So it's trying to keep things clean for you, which I find can be really helpful in basically avoiding the mess that you can often get with other block-based languages. I thought it was kind of useful anyway. With an individual block, you basically got parameters, as you can see. The blocks are going to be color-coded according to what they do. Now, all of the different sections, when you say, for example, say you want to add a block, you just right-click and you get your menu up with the blocks you can choose. You can choose all of the blocks, and there's quite a few. Or you go into sections. So there's different sections for different types of functions. So there's input blocks, there's output blocks, there's mapper blocks, trigger blocks, switching blocks, as I mentioned before, pitch blocks, which is to do with pitch CV, and then of course you've got your whole MIDI section. As I said before, there are quite a lot of MIDI capabilities in this module. And there's a few little maths blocks for doing a few things. Now, you may be surprised there's not a lot of math blocks going in this. Mathematics is actually not the greatest language for specifying musical-based control voltage patching, I found. So I've kind of lent in a different direction. I've lent more in the terms of the sort of more the modular synth route. So you can see this is kind of more set up like a bit like the control section of a modular synth. The only thing missing, of course, is that there's no audio generation in this system. This is purely control voltage. But it's very much, it's quite a bit like having different modules. Each block is kind of like a different module, a bit like in your modular. So I'm hoping this will kind of be attractive to people who do modular, as well as people who perhaps bit scared to get into it and might want to do something particular or solve a particular problem. And they want to dip their toe in something and they don't want to learn coding. This is the kind of software that I'm trying to create here in this example. So I'm probably going to have to leave it here for a moment. I'll just quickly show you a few other things so you get the idea. Changing assignments is just a matter of drag dropping different channels. If you want to automate parameters, you just drag and drop and you get different connections, and that's now connected to that particular bus. This is the bus I was talking about before. So stuff can go into the bus, and the other thing about the bus is that it is an adding bus. So much like if you're familiar with the mixing paradigm of a bus, signals are added together when they're sent into a bus, so it's like a subgroup. That's the way this system works as well, which can actually be quite powerful because you can do things like use different blocks to have quite complex effects on automation parameters. Kind of worth mentioning there. I talked about the quantizing. That's one of the things I did in the last couple of months, which is quite fun. You have that, and you can also have a custom scale, which is where you inevitably, you can click your notes on and off and stuff like that to get a custom scale if you want it, and that's all supported. So go back to, I think it was dimensional half. No, it was harmonic, wasn't it? Yes. Yes. So apart from that, I think you guys have got sort of the gist of this. It's quite comprehensive. As you can see, I've been busy. This is an ongoing project, but it's not too far from being completion. I am aiming for the last quarter of this year to release this module. The hardware requires one more revision before it's going to be, it will be production, I'd say. One more revision of that. The software will probably we'll have a good stab at getting the Mac version going, won't we, Rants? With a bit of help from you, I think. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of Mac infrastructure here, like none. So it's going to be, volunteers will be graciously accepted for playing around with the software, I think, because it's pretty easy to share software. It's much easier than sharing modules, and a hell of a lot cheaper.
Oh, I've got
Don't use the
Coco,
postal system.
I can help you out with that.
Yeah. So I was even thinking of possibly getting like an old MacBook, an old used MacBook or something, if it made development a bit more realistic. But all to be discussed later on. But anyway, the other thing to mention is this is how you upload software to the unit. So that's what that's for. And I talked about the calibration tables. I think I showed that before in a previous thing. That's your calibration tables. So for example, let's have a look. I have some calibration tables here. Current will be the one that I just loaded. So if I click on that, oh look, I thought that was reminds me of a DX7 editor or something. Kind of a nice graph. Fun. The other thing I didn't mention is that you can drag and drop. So if you want to, I'm tempting fate here. Is it going to crash? Because I haven't done this in forever. Don't know. I think it did nothing, so that's probably okay. Hang on, that's how you do it. I forgot how my software works. Oh look, it's a step sequencer. So if I hit escape, yep, cool. You can set the steps in your step sequencer. So the idea is you can add to the toolbar, I think. Add different blocks to the toolbar. I think it's right, you click on it. And no, it's not there. Maybe it's here. Add block to toolbar. I knew I did function. So you can have regularly used blocks that you use on the toolbar along the top here.
Question about the sequencer. It's a CV tool, so it'd be CV sequencing, not gate sequencing, right? Or do you do both?
It does both.
Both, okay.
And can also generate envelopes as well. So you can even bypass your gate and go straight to your VCA or filter.
Cool.
It's up to you, really. As I said, you can make the module fit into whatever modular environment that you kind of can imagine. So that's the idea here, is that it appeals to its flexibility. Hopefully will make it appeal to a wider audience, because some people want to keep their modular synthesis very pure, traditional, and some people just want to solve a problem and get it done quickly in the minimum of HP. The idea is that you can kind of do both. So apart from that, I didn't mention this, but you can actually add comments. So is that there? Is that how you add a comment? I'm trying to remember how. Oh, look, I broke comments. That's not really a surprise. Yeah, so that's where you can say to people. Say, for example, if you're sharing patches, and I haven't talked about sharing patches, but if you're sharing patches with other people, you can give them helpful notes, like, you know, this block peels the banana. So, yeah, that kind of thing. And there you go. So you can do stuff with it. This block peels bananas. See? You can get cluttered if you leave post-it notes everywhere, but, you know, I love post-it notes. Sue me. But yeah, the idea is to give people sort of interactive documentation with your patches. You could do that in Pure Data, I know, and MaxMSB, but so I thought I had to have it here too. So I think that's pretty much everything. There is an undo system, so if I Control Z, this would be where it crashes in that. So it's time to tempt fate. Live development software, and I think she actually undid. It's just running very slow on the computer. There you go. It's changing. Yes, there's a lot of debug statements slowing the whole thing down. That's all that's going on there. So I reckon, other than going out with perhaps one more slide, if I go back to, let's have a look. Need to bring up PowerPoint again. Is PowerPoint still running?
Question 2: if you want to interface with the 5U stuff, can the CV, can you do different voltage values for like 5U stuff?
5U stuff. So that's the like the Moog system.
Like Moog and yeah, stuff like that. The weird voltages.
Sorry. Shame on me. Well, how weird are the voltages? I have to admit, I forgot. It's primarily designed.
I mean, it's
for
15.
Eurorack
I think is the top upper end. I think it's plus 15. If I remember correctly,
Okay,
there might be a 12 in there somewhere.
No,
I'm thinking of ARP or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, not quite. You've basically got 0 -5 to 10 effectively. You're limited to the voltages that are available in eurorack. So it is primarily a eurorack solution.
So there's no step up feature.
Not to say there couldn't be a future of it. Sorry? There's no
step up
there's
feature.
No additional.
Yeah.
No. There's no voltage doubling or step up feature. What was I going to do? I was going to share.
I mean, Andy, it's a eurorack device, so it would be kind of a little bit sort of out of its spec zone to expect it to be.
No, I get it,
with,
but like the little mini thing I bought a while back, it actually delivered more than you had to be careful with it, because it did actually give you more voltage if you're not careful. So sometimes things are made with a little more oomph, and you have to just be careful where you plug into what. So.
Okay, how do I share again? Sorry,
sharing is caring.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Yes, this is sort of the important bit. That sort of concludes this address. I'll just leave you with a bit of the module doing a bit of stuff now. Okay, back to you, Rant. Thank you for your time.
Very good, Chris. Very good.
Great, Chris. I have somewhere in my garage an old Mac Mini, which, if I find it, I mean, it's been there. It's been lost since I moved. I'm quite happy to give it to you, to donate it, Chris, and send it over. I don't know. You're on 220 over there, Rance?
Make a Hackintosh.
240. It'll work on 240. It's the same.
240. It's 240.
It's
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, you might need to put a new operating system on it, but it's an old one, and I have literally no need for it. So I'm happy. I need to find it first, but yeah, quite happy to have it.
Oh, that's very generous.
If I find it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
No, I mean, literally, I haven't needed it for 2 years, so you know.
I can only point out that the postage.
Don't worry about that.
Killer, though.
No,
So,
well, I'm sure
sure?
Sinners Music can
Okay.
afford that. Yeah, because if I send it via, it will come via snail mail.
Understood.
But our post office is actually the Royal Mail is actually not too bad, so don't worry about that. And as it's a gift, it won't matter about import duties.
Yeah, good point. Yes, because it's a gift. Yes.
Yeah, it's a gift.
If you need some Mac
Yeah,
testing, I can
right.
help you test Mac stuff if you need that. So
Absolutely. I was definitely going to hit you up for that once the software is Mackable, which I thought I'd work with Ranzee at the moment. Because he's offered to help.
are you going to make it backward compatible, or is it going to be Mac Apple Silicon only?
Backward compatible. Now that depends really on the Qt environment and what it is compatible with. I have to look into what OSs it's targeting.
Because still tons of
It
people
may
don't
be
use Apple
compile
Silicon.
dependent.
Oh no, the thing is, if he devs it for PC, it'll be Intel based, which means that when we do a version for Mac, we'll be doing
First.
Yeah, we'll be doing the Intel one first, and then you can just run it on Rosetta.
And Rosetta. Yeah. Well, my Mac Mini is Intel, so that might help.
Yeah.
So I'll just
It's no problem on my end. I can do all that sort of shit.
I'll just drop out of the chat
Zoom
for a
call.
little while.
Yeah.
To see if I can get my camera working. Go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get my camera
worries.
working again. Sorry to.
I think I've solved my. Yeah, come back, Chris. I think I've solved my glitchiness.
Chris is an avatar right now with a voice.
Ian, send him another camera with that Mac. So he needs another camera.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I do need? I need a new microphone, and I was going to hit you guys up for some advice as to what you think might be a good microphone. I'm kind of half looking for one for this show.
Rode.
And
get a Rode.
Also for
Rode.
vocals.
Get a
If
Rode.
you can get hold of an
Rode
NT2S would be mine.
Yeah, NT1, NT2.
Okay, I was thinking the
This is
NT1's
an
okay.
Oh, the Rodecaster.
This is the NT1.
The USB Rodecaster is easy plug and play, right?
I'm kind of used.
Yeah.
It is, but
Yeah,
it's a bit. Apparently, it's a bit bland sounding out of the box. Which I'm
This
not
is a
sure
Rode.
is going to be.
This
right.
is an
NT1,
NT2S.
Yeah, this works
Yeah.
fine.
That's
they're
an
great.
NT no,
I've got two of them.
That's
Got
where I
pair.
was leaning. So that's helpful,
Yeah.
guys.
I wouldn't have anything else, actually.
Right.
I mean, if you guys are used to listening to my voice for the last how many years, Daren? It's pretty much this microphone. Sometimes I
because
Forever.
otherwise he sounds really squeaky. Don't
Sometimes
you?
I use
you sound
that.
really squeaky.
It's only when I'm talking at my ass. All right,
still here, guys.
That's okay. We're gonna head over to video. It's play a video time on Synth Geekery News. Who likes Akai NPCs? Put your hand up, Ian. Oh,
Your hand is up.
Muted. There we go. Now, this was suggested by the people in the chat, so this is what we're going to show as a news topic to show the new NPC. So there's 2 new NPCs out, which has only come out in the last 24 hours, I believe.
Yeah, yesterday, yeah.
The NPC 37, which is the keyboard one, and the NPC 1. And as you can see, they're both different. The NPC 1 is the G2 NPC 1, which has got the new Generation 2 processor in it. It's got expanded memory, a whole bunch of expanded stuff. And it's pretty much the same brains and the same guts inside the key. Obviously, the key's got the keyboard. To be honest, the keyboard's actually a pretty fun looking sort of device. Not for me though. I'm an NPC Live type person.
I agree with you.
But there
about
we
the
go,
keyboard.
guys.
It does look better. It definitely looks better as the keyboard than the one.
Now the NPC 1 is the little one of all the NPCs. It kind of reminds me of the NPC 500, NPC 1000 of the older days. That's what it reminds me of. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was developed after. But yeah, so we're excited by this. I mean, it was inevitable, wasn't it, guys, that they're going to bring out more of the older NPC products and put the new processor in them. So, I mean, that's a dead obvious thing that's going to happen, and it has. And I think so. What have they done now? They've done obviously the Live was the first one they did. Then they brought the big studio one out. XL,
yeah.
And then after that is these two. So really, at the end of the day, I think they've probably caught up with all the NPCs and putting the new processor in. And I think it's important for them to do it because the further sort of iteration of development will be on that new PC. For me, it's a bit sad because it means that my NPC will now become a legacy NPC. But that's cool. It's 10 years old. It's a 10-year-old machine. I'm okay with that. I mean, you think about how long the computers last for. This thing is still going strong, and it's 10 years old. I'm actually really, really, really happy with it. And I feel like if I was to amortize out what I spent coin-wise on this when I first bought it and divide that by 10 years, I think it's a very, very affordable product in that sense. And all the software updates that they've brought out, I think it's fantastic. Now,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because not only ever owning an NPC Live 3, if I was getting into this for the first time and knowing that the NPC 1 G2 is half the price of a Live 3,
what's the difference?
Would I be better waiting and then getting a Live 3 like I've got, or do you go for the 730 quid from Juno? So 700 quid for a Live 1, NPC 1.
You know what? It's kind of interesting. Like, I had this conversation with this guy once, and this was a few years ago before the G2 stuff came out, and it was, I think the NPC 1 had a second iteration. I think they had the first one, and then they brought a second one out. I can't remember exactly at what stage it was. And this guy was saying to me,
yeah, they had the NPC 1 and then the NPC 1 Plus.
That's it, Daren. Thanks for schooling me. See, Daren's on top of it all. That's why he's here. He was telling me that he bought an NPC 1 and he could not gel with it. And it was actually, Brooksy was similar when Brooksy was telling me about it as well.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Brooksy about that. Yeah.
He couldn't gel with it. He didn't like it. And I said to the guy, go to the shop and try an NPC Live out. It's the same operating system to a degree. There's a few subtle things that it doesn't have, but because you get more bells and whistles on the NPC Live. But go try it out, and it might just be a form factor problem. And he went and he got back to me. We had a chat again, and he said, "I bought an MPC Live." And he said, "My problem solved. It was just the form factor." So some people actually can't. I just think it's kind of like if you look at a lot of those sampling machines, they have that sort of screen up top, pad underneath, sort of disease in a way, and it becomes this sort of temporal sort of chore.
Well, the Machine Plus has that, but it's you just get used to it.
Yeah, but some people don't gel with it, mate. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Whereas an MPC Live, it's actually kind of it's like a landscape design.
So many things it is.
Yeah,
or can be. How you want to? I mean, I could just use it as a synth. I could take it out tomorrow, plug a keyboard into it, and just use it as a synth without using any of the other features.
But anyway, to answer your original question, Ian, if you're starting out and your first MPC, and money is an issue, then get an MPC One. Obviously, get the MPC One G2 because that's the latest and greatest. When they hit the shops, I think they're hitting the shops pretty soon. Anyway, I feel like it's a good start, and then you can always sell these things used. They don't lose a lot of value secondhand. You might lose 20-25%. I always say to people, like, if you think about it, right? Say this thing cost you 700 quid. What's that? 1,400 bucks Aussie, $1,000 US. Would you say, Andy? It's a sort of ballpark figure, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit cheaper. Let's say $1,000 to keep it round figures. So say you lose $200 selling it used, but you had it for 12 months. $200 divided by 12 months. It's pretty cheap rental when you think about it, if you were to rent it. Okay? And then you go and buy your MPC Live, or you go and buy your MPC XL, or whatever you want to get next because you've upgraded, right? That, to me, seems like a fairly sort of good logic path to take. But definitely, definitely in the MPC Live 3 is...
it's fantastic.
Full featured, and obviously the MPC XL is mega featured. So, yeah, these two that we just showed, the MPC 37 and the One G2, they are kind of, I feel like they're kind of the sort of the lower end, the entry end. They have a different sort of audience that buys them.
Yeah, now the MPC keys, because I remember trying the MPC keys when it first came out, and it was incredibly laggy when it was running a program. Apparently, the G2 version, because it's a better processor, has fixed that.
I don't know why though, because you know what, it makes no sense why it would be. So I've got an MPC One, I've had it for years. I plug a USB keyboard into it, it's never lagged.
No.
So why would the MPC keys be laggy? It's just, it doesn't make sense. So I don't know what the deal with that is.
It was a Gear Fest a couple of years ago, and the guy was demonstrating it to me, and he said, "I'm sorry, it can be a bit laggy," and it was. It sounded great. I mean, but
I feel like that maybe the older processors are probably getting pushed too much now. So yeah, the new one's obviously going to be heaps faster. It's going to have it's got more memory, it's got more RAM, it's got more storage, and 8 quad core, 8 core, as opposed to a dual core, right?
Just looking at it now, I've got to carry that. I need bigger glasses.
Yeah. Anyway, so price,
8-core processor.
So price wise, you said like the
$730 for the
one,
the one
G2,
849 UK from somebody called Scan. Don't know who they are.
I don't know who they are either.
Key 37.
Yeah. Pro tip though,
Scan's up near me.
Is that?
Yeah, it's a computer place.
Buy an MPC One.
They do a lot of musical stuff because I got some stuff from there, which is actually quite cool.
Buy an MPC One and buy a cheaper MIDI controller with it, and you're winning.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're ahead.
Yeah.
You can get a MIDI controller cheaper than 150 quid. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, a 300 Aussie dollar or 150 quid MIDI controller is a pretty decent MIDI controller. So,
I mean, I've been using that with my MPC.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah,
looks really good.
Akai make great MIDI controllers as well, but Arturia Keystep 37, fantastic MIDI controller.
Yeah.
Yep. and it's got mappable faders on it. Not faders, mappable. There's 4 knobs that are mappable on it, which is actually pretty handy to have. But if you are going to have a MIDI controller with the MPC, try and get one that's got a few pads on it, because you can actually, through the MIDI mapping on the MPC software, you can actually use them. And you can use them in extra to what the pads on the actual MPC itself are used for. So you can map them to different things, like, for example, launching clips, but you might be on the, pad perform mode on the MPC. So you're launching clips with your MIDI controller, and you're on the pad perform mode with your MPC, which is awesome. What do you guys think about them? I mean, obviously Akai bringing out the G2 processor, but what do you guys think? Are you guys all happy for Akai to move on, bring the new processor out, start developing hard on that, and eventually they'll dump the legacy MPCs? They'll dump them. They have
at some
to.
point it's going to have to happen on it, because it's like things just moving on, and like you said, they're just going to be pushed so much they're going to be not working anyway. So they've got to, really, if they want to keep that up. I mean, like you say, you've had your MPC Live 10 years. Akai Forces getting on for 10 years now.
Yeah.
So 10 years for a piece of hardware that's still going to work. Okay, you're not going to get the new benefits from the later incarnations of what they do because of the process, but you're still going to have I've still got the Force here, which is now used as, in the studio just as music, just actually like Ian said, as a synth and other things as well. So it's not like it's dead. So yeah, 10 years is something like I say, a computer. I mean, let's face it, how often they're updating the OS systems now is every year. And at some point after a few years, max, okay, you might get a bit longer, but you're starting to run out of any of your VSTs start to get issues once the OS system starts moving further and further away.
Absolutely.
So it's the same with hardware now. I think if it's got computer based in some sort of form, whether it's hardware or software or computers. So as time moves on, we're always going to be, having to have all the computers.
That's why I've
stuff.
Yeah, that's why I've kept my own my MacBook Pro from 2015, because I've still got programs on there which I can't get anywhere else anymore. So, I mean, Jane's going to use it for word processing mainly and a bit of internet, but there's no point getting rid of it.
Yeah. All right, so let's have a look at what the new things are on the MPC 1 G2. So obviously the G2 processor, it's 4 times the power of the previous one. And when I say it's 4 times the power, I mean, they're going to be careful with that sort of stuff. I don't think it's a linear sort of Moore's law thing.
Said so.
It's definitely got 4 times the cores, so that part of it's true, but I don't know if that's 4 times the power. But anyway, argue that aside. There's a new 1 cable studio connectivity. So the USB-C now has been updated so that they can provide you with 24x24 audio streaming. Now that's a big thing, because if you're just looking at the basic MPC 1, which is the cheapest one of them all, you've got now an audio interface with 24x24 streaming into your DAW. It has all the new MIDI of the MPC Live MPC 3 operating system, and you also get the host and device support over a single connection as well. So that all just through your USB-C connection. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of power in that. I've always sung about the praises with Akai. They've done a good job over the years with that, especially once they started the MIDI connectivity and the class compliant stuff a few years back. That really was a game changer with MPC. It just becomes such an ally in your studio. Expanded audio tracks, you can now, so this is a software benefit. It's been there, but because you've got the G2 processor, it's going to help you not have lag and things like that. But the 16 stereo tracks now, instead of, I think it was 8 before, so that's double. That's huge. 16 stereo tracks. So you've got stereo tracks, then you've got drum tracks, then you've got MIDI tracks. Then you've got clips. I mean, it's not just 16 stereo tracks. That's like a sample audio track, right? So it's huge what you can do on this thing. You probably will run out of memory on an MPC before you would run out of tracks.
Storage as well. Storage is only 64 gig, which seems a bit small. Can you put an external? I don't think you can put an external drive in it, can you?
MPC 1 has the SD card slot in it.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
So I'll show you that in a sec. And the last thing is they've got the new 32 plug-in instruments included with the MPC 1. Everything else is the same as previous. Legacy runs all the old MPC 2 software. I'll show you a screenie of the back connection. So let's go to here. Bang. So I think that's the same as the previous one, guys. If you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think maybe it looks slightly different with the graphics, but I was under the impression the previous one had the CV gate with the TRS connection on it. So you had your MIDI in, MIDI out, and the USB-C connection is on the other side of it. Now, the SD card slot, there was a photo up a bit further I showed there. I don't know if it's there. There it is there. So there's the SD card slot there.
Right,
so that's where you put all your projects on. Now, if I remember rightly, this one doesn't have the hard drive bay in it. So you can't, I don't think you can stick... Guys in chat, tell me if I'm right or wrong there. I don't think you can chuck a hard drive in this.
You can put an NVRAM in there or anything? Any kind of
I can't see it on the spec.
I can't see it anywhere in here, and I'm pretty sure they've done that on purpose, Andy.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to have some of the benefits and features in there.
Well, it's also going to minimize tech support calls. So
maybe. Anyway, so that's that one. I just want to quickly jump over to the MPC 37 keys. Where are we? Where are we? The next one is the 37. Let's just go to there. Okay. It doesn't really look any different in terms of layout. I'm not picking up anything kind of new on the UI. Obviously, the coloring and things like that, they've gone with that retro sort of look. They do talk about it. Just
the keys does give you that landscape mode, as you were saying, compared to the one.
Yeah.
So it gives you that landscape one.
Do you see? That's what Daren's talking about. See how your pads are there,
and
your screen is there, and I don't know what it does, but apparently the way people's brains work, some people work linear, and some people work, parallel. So we call it in photography. You call it portrait and landscape in photography, right? That's what we'd call it. Now, where's that little section I wanted to show you guys about this? I don't know if it's got the same things as the previous one. I don't think there's anything new on the keyboard. That's what I wanted to look at, is have they improved the keys on the keyboard? And I don't think so, is the answer. I think they've just used the same Fatar, Akai, like MIDI controller type keyboard on it. So it's not bad. I mean, you've tried it, Ian. I've tried it. It's actually not too bad. The keys are...
It's okay. Yeah. No, it's good.
You can't really complain. But have a look at the connectivity on the back of this. I don't know if I can I click on that? No, I can't. Max zoom. It's probably going to be pixelated. But there's more connectivity on the back here. Well, it feels like it's more, right? To me. Your SD card slots on the back. All of your audio ins and outs are there. Then you've got your CVs here. Then you've got your MIDI. And then you've got expression pedal there. So that, I don't know, it just feels like there's more on it. Does that? Yeah, it zooms out. Quite a small form factor though, really, with keys. But yeah, they're the two. So, which one would you get? Wagoo's confirmed there's no SATA connection in the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there a SATA connection in the keys? I don't think there is either. Nope.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah. I think they're the same. They're in the same sort of grouping. So if you want, Andy, if you do want to have that drive connection, you've got to go with a Live or a Studio XL. Okay, and they're your two
I
big.
put one in mine.
They're your two big flat. I'll show you. I'll just go across to the website now so you can see Andy.
Which is funny because even the MPC 500 had a little chip you could upgrade inside of it, so they just stopped doing that on the cheap stuff.
Why am I seeing?
I mean, I suppose you've got the SD card now, which you can get a terabyte or more SD card. So,
Wagyu makes a good point, which I did think about, but he's just articulated it better than me. So there's a shame there's no new version of the MPC 3 fancy pads. You know, the quad pads. So neither of them have got those. You know.
So there's your 4 different G2 products now. So you've got your one, your keys, your XL, which is this big studio. That is a monolithic sucker. I think
huge.
That's huge. And then there's the one that Ian's got, which is the Live, and that's it. So for me, I'm still a Live 3 fanboy. I think it's almost the best of all worlds. There are a few things in the XL that it's got that I think Daren would probably like an XL. If money was no object, I reckon Daren would be all over an XL because it's got the OLEDs, Daren. The OLEDs are pretty cool.
It's got that little bit of forceness.
Yeah, it does, and it's also
has the scribble strips.
It's got the
little screens.
Little screens. It's got the connectivity on it. It really is a bit of a classy piece. But yeah, for me, I like the ability for the thing to be battery powered. I just think that's a cool thing.
Well, the XL.
I just use mine on battery all the time.
Item, it's basically just a Synths Studio with a PC as well.
I mean that's the XL there. Look, it's huge, right? And one of the good things about it is you can tilt the screen too. That's something the Force should have always had. A tiltable screen.
Yeah. Does it have a HDMI on it as well, so you can take the screen out to another bigger screen?
No, it doesn't. Wouldn't that be nice?
Ah, that would be perfect then. That would be a pure studio. Why would you not do that?
I don't know. They just want to do things just to annoy you.
I'm going to say, can't you do it on a USB?
But
you might.
That's the kind of thing that you can do. Yeah, I mean it's a huge thing anyway. The price of the Studio XL though, it's pretty nasty.
It is a studio,
$3,000.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Sorry, I've got somebody cutting grass outside.
That's okay.
It's all right. I think they've finished cutting grass near me.
MPC. So,
Ian, do you have the guys who ride mowers Chris, there, or do you have the push mowers? Is it the people actually buy the rideable mowers?
We don't have rideable. I mean, the guy next door had a rideable mower.
He did, okay. So
but he hasn't got that big a lawn. We've just got a battery operated.
I've only been a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, Chris, for you, the MPC Live 3 is 2,609. The MPC 1, this is Australian dollars, guys. The 1G2 is 1,424.
Yep.
And the MPC 37, MPC Key 37 is 1,709.
Yeah, I wouldn't go the keyboard.
So the Live 3, I still think it's in a good sweet spot, 2,609. Mind you, that's $1,000 more than I paid for my Live 1.
It's come down a bit then, hasn't it? It must have come down a bit since I bought it. I paid $1,500 for mine.
Yeah, I think you were right at the start. So you paid
right at the start. Yeah,
you paid the launch tax.
Back, yeah,
the launch tax.
Yeah. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
No,
I've done that plenty of times myself with different products out there, and I never ever regret buying things at the start because
actually, it's not that. I mean, it's not that because I'm looking here. Gear for Music just under 1,400, so it's not really dropped that much. £100 maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think the Australian dollar's quite strong at the moment too. That could be a little bit of. the reason for things.
Yeah.
Anyway, which is a rare thing to happen over here. So yeah, Akai NPC, good call. Whoever that was, I can't remember who suggested that in chat. So I don't know. I feel like scrolling back. If it's you, sing out. Pat yourself on the back.
Steve, maybe. Wagyu.
No, it wasn't
One
Steve or
of the
Wagyu.
Steves.
No, I think it was. I think it was Matt.
Biscuit.
Matt Brown. Is Matt Brown in there?
What was it?
James, it could have been, or James. Yeah, it might have been James. Anyway, well, one of you guys, give yourself a pat in the back. Now, there were a few other things suggested in the chat. I don't want to do the software stuff as much because I'm not as much over it, and I feel like Pro Synth Network do a really good job of talking about that stuff.
They did. They covered the
Cherry. They
release, Cherry audio release yesterday in great detail, actually, because he had the guys on.
It was suggested that we do the Protein. We've already done that. It was suggested that we do the Terrain synth. We've already done that. Try and keep it a little bit more recent. So, like if you've just seen, we've done the Akai Mini Lab 37. That's only a couple of weeks old. The Akai MPC G2 stuff, that's only like a day old. So try and keep it a bit more recent, guys. It's I know it can be a bit hard to keep up with all this stuff. I would suggest that we're probably good to go. I think we've done all the news for this week, and we can move on anyway. What do you guys think?
Cool beans. Yeah. That's good.
Yep. Next week, don't worry, there'll be some Eurorack modules next week. And it's not Chris's. It'll be
Not mine.
not Chris's.
You're gonna have a break from me for a while, I think.
No break. But it's I was just playing with the negate language of negating. It's good fun, especially when you can negate a negative. I don't think people get it. Anyway,
By the way, folks, can I just say that I fixed my lagginess on my upgrade of operating system. Turn off transparency. Fixed it.
what's transparency?
Transparency is on the Mac, the latest version of Mac OS, and that I just had a quick look, and that's fixed it.
Right.
So transparency is where
that
you've
is.
got your icon. Your icons have got little. It's just a visual thing. It's pointless, really. But
okay.
somebody on Reddit said, "Oh, turn off that." And it fixes it, and bugger me, it does.
Wags, I think we can show that next week. I actually did see that. There was some prototype and Sonic keyboard. I reckon we'll show that next week. So, because I actually wouldn't mind getting...
check the website. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Just give me a chance to actually go and read up about that. I feel like it needs a bit more of my research on it. I don't think we should, fly in blind on that one, because it does look pretty cool, I feel. Let's give it some proper love. All right, why don't we go across to Ian's desk? Actually,
hey.
You know what? You know what I'll do, Ian. Warm your hands up,
Yes.
but I feel like just for a little second, we'll do the second clue. Just for a second. You ready?
Cool.
Second clue there. Would you like me to read it out to you?
Ooh.
It says open source oscillators. And then on that note, we will go to Ian. Good work, Chris.
Absolutely perfect. So we're going to start with a little bit of history first. We'll get to the music stuff in a bit. So on this day in 1756, 146 British soldiers, Anglo-Indian soldiers and Indian civilians were imprisoned in a small dungeon in Calcutta in India, where most of them died from suffocation and heat exhaustion. That prison was known as the Black Hole of Calcutta. So if you've never heard that term before, when the doors opened the following day, only 23 prisoners had survived. Still on history. So in 1837 today, after the death of William IV, Victoria became queen in the United Kingdom, and during her reign, the country became the world's most powerful empire. Apparently, she had no interest in social issues. Surprise, surprise. Yet the 19th century in Britain was the age of reform. She resisted technological changes, even while mechanical and technological innovations reshaped the face of European civilization. Thank you, Victoria. And we're still living with her legacy. Jumping to 1840, American inventor Samuel Morse received a patent for his telegraph. Morse went from accomplished portrait painter to revolutionary inventor, creating the single-wire telegraph system and the code that bears his name. His work bridged art and science while revolutionizing global communications in ways that would shape the modern world. Well done, Samuel. 1895, we've got the first woman to earn a PhD in physics from an American university. Her name was Caroline Willard Baldwin. She received her degree from the Cornell University and she was 25. And then from 1895 to 1900, she taught physics at the California School of Mechanical Arts, a secondary school in San Francisco, probably quite close to Andy. And in 1898, she co-authored with Arthur Merrill a textbook entitled Physics Course of the Californian School of Mechanical Arts. Now we're onto the music stuff, really. So 1910, born today, happy birthday to the blues singer and composer Howlin' Wolf, one of the principal exponents of urban blues style of Chicago, and noted for his brooding lyrics in his earthy, aggressive stage presence. In an attempt to imitate Jimmy Rogers, and if you don't know Jimmy Rogers, check him out. He did a yodel. So he was trying to imitate Jimmy Rogers' yodel. Howlin' Wolf developed his signature howling singing style, and he began to perform as said Howlin' Wolf. Also born today, we have 1924. We have Chet Atkins, the finger-picking guitar player, arranger, and producer. He recorded over 100 albums during his career. Major influences on George Harrison and Mark Knopfler and people like that. In addition to recording, Atkins was a design consultant for Gretsch Guitars from 1955 to 1980. He also became the manager of the RCA Victor's Nashville studios, eventually inspiring and seeing the completion of the legendary RCA Studio B, the first studio built specifically for the purpose of recording the now famous Music Row. Check it out if you don't know what the Music Row is. He sadly died in 2001, aged 77. Jumping to 1936, born today, happy birthday to Mickey Most, record producer, member of the Most Brothers, don't remember them, late 50s, before my time. He produced hits for The Animals, Herman's Hermits, Lulu, Jeff Beck, Chocolate, Susie Quattro, those are all British acts, obviously. And one of my favourite bands of all times, the Heavy Metal Kids, who were not heavy metal and neither were the Kids. He also ran his own record label, Rack, during the 70s, and Mickey Most died on May 30th, 2003, age 67, which is quite young, really, isn't it? Another birthday today, quite a significant one. This 1942, Brian Wilson, American singer-songwriter with the Beach Boys, who scored the 1966 UK and US #1 Good Vibrations, along with other great songs. The 1966 classic album Pet Sounds, which made the Beatles then go off and do Sgt. Pepper's, and is widely considered to be one of the most influential albums of all time in music history, and I would probably agree with that. Wilson released and toured the Lost Beach Boys Smile album. I have got that. It's not great, but it's okay. Wilson died in his sleep on June the 11th, 2025, in his Beverly Hills home on his just 9 days before his 83rd birthday. Jumping to 1947, again another birthday, English classic rock guitarist Paul Brett. He played lead guitar with the Strobes, the Overlander, the Crazy World of Arthur Brown, Roy Harper, Al Stewart and Lonnie Donegal. I met Paul a few times because he did a range of signature guitars for the Vintage brand. Lovely bloke. He also introduced me and my band on the stage at Sunrise Festival back in 2012 when he was playing with Arthur Brown. He died, sadly, of a heart failure on the 31st of January 2024. And also on 1949, born today, happy birthday to American singer, songwriter, actor and record producer Lionel Richie, who with the Commodores had #1 single 3 Times Lady, which was great. Loved the Commodores. Still can't forgive him for that bloody single Hello and that stupid video. But hey-ho, he did co-write the 1985 charity single We Are the World with some other bloke. Who
How about Dancing on the Ceiling? You like that one?
He made a lot of money from that Hello
Dancing on the
song.
Ceiling's, Dancing on the Ceiling's bit pants as well, actually. You know, great. He's got a great voice, and I do love the Commodores. They're great, actually.
I mean, Ian, I agree with you about the song. I think it's naff, and we have the same idea. But he made a shitload of money from it. So
we can
knock it as much as we want.
How many hits have I had? You know,
exactly.
Each to their own. Yeah.
Everyone's got to have a cash cow.
Exactly. I haven't found mine yet. So 1953, born today, Alan Longmuir from the Scottish pop group Bay City Rollers. He had a number one hit with Bye Bye Baby, plus about 11 other top 20 singles in the early 70s. He died sadly in 2018, age 70, after contracting illness while on holiday in Mexico. So
remember
jumping forward,
Saturday Night?
Saturday Night. Yeah. I do prefer Bye Bye Baby, if I'm honest. I don't think they wrote it, did they? Jumping to 1960, we have another birthday for John Taylor, bass player and co-founder of that band Duran Duran, who scored a 1980 #1 hit with There Is Something I Should Know, plus a load of others, including The Reflex, and we all know what Duran Duran are. They're great, actually. There's also a member of Power Station. I liked Power Station, bought the album, got it on vinyl next door, who in 1985 had a UK #1 with Some Like It Hot. Jumping to 1963. yeah, exactly, yeah. And a bloke from Malton, not a million miles away from where I was born, who was on vocals. More about him another time. So jumping to 1963, the Beatles formed the Beatles Limited to handle their income. And surprise, on November the 19th, 3 years later, all 4 members signed letters terminating their relationship with the Beatles Limited and changed the name of the company to Apple Music Limited in November 67. And then it was renamed Apple Car Limited in January 68. And obviously nobody thought that there'd be another company called Apple in the future, would they? 1966, Bob Dylan, good songwriter, dodgy voice, other opinions are available, released his 7th studio album, Blonde on Blonde. I have to say I've never listened to it by him. I've listened to a covers version of Blonde on Blonde. Songs are great, actually, but I can't stand his voice. Recorded between New York and Nashville with some of the country's best... Sorry?
It's a pitchy voice. That's why I don't like it. And that's probably why you don't like it.
Yeah, and it is that, actually. He's each to their own. But no, it makes me think I'm a good singer.
That's what I mean. It's like a chainsaw.
Exactly.
Nasally.
Stop singing through your nose and sing from your diaphragm. There you are. So Bob Dylan gets singing tips from me.
He's still around too, Bob.
He is, yeah. Apparently his radio show was interesting. Not that I would ever listen to it. It's one of Rock's first double albums, apparently. So yeah, it's a year before Sgt. Pepper's. No, Sgt. Pepper's wasn't a double album, was it? It's White Album. And it's considered one of the greatest albums of all time. Other opinions are available. It's got Just Like a Woman, I Want You, Rainy Day Women. The album was met with critical and commercial success, so what do I know? And it peaked at number 10 in the US and the UK, but not number 1.
See, there you go.
So, yeah, I was right.
You're right
all along. So, 1969 was the second annual Newport Pop Festival. Took place in Costa Mesa in California, billed as Newport 69, and became the largest concert of its kind at the time, with an estimated 200,000 paying attendees. Tickets for the 3-day event were just $15. The Jimi Hendrix Experience headlined, and they received a record payout of $125,000 to headline the festival. Other performers included The Byrds, Jethro Tull, Albert King, Ike and Tina Turner, and Creedence Clearwater Revival, if I can even say it.
Creedence.
Also in Also in 1969, on this day, David Bowie recorded Space Oddity, his first song about the fictional astronaut Major Tom, and he recorded it at London's Trident Studio. The single was released weeks later in time for the Apollo 11 moon landing and was used by the BBC during the broadcast of the event, marking a stylistic shift in Bowie's music. Space Oddity was received warmly by the critics, but did not find initial commercial success in the UK or the US. It was banned by most radio stations in the US, apparently, and considered to be controversial. After performing the song on Top of the Pops in October, however, Space Oddity peaked at number 5 in the UK, with subsequent reissues over the decades keeping the single in the charts. Oops, I've just lost my page. Where was I there? Sorry, I'm just going to go. I've just gone 3-4 pages forward. There we go. We're back again. So Bowie would later revisit his Major Tom character in songs like Ashes to Ashes, Hello Space Boy, and Black Star. 1971, Glastonbury Fair happened just down the road from me. Actually, it's 26 miles from here. It's not just down the road, is it? So anyway, David Bowie again headlined that, along with other performers, Joan Baez, Hawkwind, Melanie, Traffic, and Fairport Convention. Jumping to 1974, the first ever Nebworth Festival took place in England, dubbed the Bucolic Frolic. I wonder why. In its inaugural year, the open-air event hosted 60,000 music fans and feasted the Allman Brothers, Van Morrison, Doobie Brothers, and many, many others. 1975, Steven Spielberg's thriller was released today. It was a huge success initially and was considered to be the genre of the summer blockbuster. More about his latest offering in a bit. Another birthday, 1979, the very brilliant Charlotte Hattersley, if you don't know who she is, from Northern Irish alternative rock band Ash. She scored a 1995 UK number 11 single with Girl from Mars, and her first album, which was Grey Will Fade, is absolutely fantastic if you've never heard it. What else have we got? Jumping ahead to 1987, Aerosmith appeared at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas for the first night of their permanent vacation. 147-date world tour. It's going to a minute. And over the year, the venue has been home to Deep Purple, Boston Journey, Ted Hughes, and blah, 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 blah. And the Eagles, notably, this was the first massive 3-day Crossroads festival held by Eric Clapton in 2004. 1989, Warner Brothers released the 11th studio album by some bloke called Prince. Great. The soundtrack to the film Batman, which I think is great. Actually, I've got the album. Prince had agreed to sign the publishing rights for the songs used in the film over to Warner Brothers. Prince's hit singles from the album was not permitted to appear on any of his hit compilations until 2016 release, which was Forever. On concert T-shirts, which listed the Prince's albums as titles to date, the song Scandalous appeared in place of the album name Batman. Despite this, Prince performed a number of the album's tracks in concerts over the years. And a 2005 special edition DVD of the Batman film contains Prince's related videos as a bonus feature. Also today, 1996, Baddiel, Skinner and Lightning Seeds went to number 1 in the UK with 3 Lions 98 released for the Football World Cup. Enough about football, really. I don't think we need to say any more about that, but it's coming home, apparently.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
I know. Actually, I have said I am not watching. I watched a little bit of England, and I thought they were poor. Not that I know anything about football, but I've said I'm not watching any matches really from anybody until England get to the final, and then I will watch if they get there.
Well, they trounced Qatar,
2004.
so.
They'll go a fair way in. There's no doubt about that.
They will, yeah. But they might get to, if they get to semis, maybe I'll change my mind. So in 2000, the Ronettes were awarded $2.6 million, 1.5 million pounds in back earnings from some guy who died in prison called Phil Spector. The New York judge Paula Omensky ruled that the legendary producer had cheated them out of their royalties. Naughty. 2004,
he was a murderer, that guy.
He was.
Phil Spector, yeah.
Apparently. Yeah.
Well, he was convicted of
say
it.
what you like about him, he's dead. Yeah, he was. Yeah. So he can't sue, can he? So 2004, organisers at a Paul McCartney gig hired 3 jets of spray dry ice into the clouds so it wouldn't rain during the concert. Oh, come on, Paul. The gig in Petersburg, Russia, was McCartney's 3,000th concert appearance. He had performed 2,535 gigs with the Quarrymen stroke Beatles, and then 140 gigs with Wings and 325 solo shows. So, where are we? Yes, 2014. Songs by Elvis Presley, ABBA, and the Spice Girls were amongst those being used to research that hoped would unlock the secrets of how our memory works. I don't have a memory, so I just have to read everything. Researchers from the University of Amsterdam have created an online game in an attempt to shed light on some of the tunes that get stuck in your head. Those earworms, really. Fans were asked to identify song clips and compare them to their catchiness by understanding which musical features triggered long-term memory. Researchers hoped that the development would effective music-based therapies for patients with dementia and other memory-related illnesses. 2016, lawyers for Led Zeppelin asked the judge to throw out a case accusing the band of stealing the riff "Stairway to Heaven." Singer Paul Robert Plant and guitarist Jimmy Page and Warner's argued that claimants had failed to make the case after 3 days of testimony. The band was accused of basing "Stairway to Heaven" on a 1968 Spirit song, Taurus. After years of subsequent appeals and a full panel review by the 9th US Circuit Court of Appeals, the band officially cemented their legal victory in 2020. So it took 4 years, and we don't know how much it cost, actually. 2019, Dave Gilmour auctioned 126 of his guitars for the record-breaking $21 million, including the Black Strat, the 69 Fender Stratocaster used on Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, which you hear in the wall. That went for $3.97 million. Who'd pay that for a guitar? I mean, you haven't bought it to play it, have you? You've bought it to hang it on the wall. The former Pink Floyd frontman, most iconic instrument, the so-called Black Strat. Oh, we've said that. Others items included a 1954 Fender Stratocaster with the serial number 0001, which was used to record Another Brick in the Wall. That went for $1.8 million, and some other stuff. It was a New York charity auction at Christie's, and the charity event was proceeds marked to fight against climate change. And last but not least, tomorrow, I don't know about anywhere else, but here it is Father's Day. So,
happy Father's Day!
Fathers,
Happy Father's Day,
I've already
mate.
got my gift from my 2 boys, and they've sent me a book to read, which is normally what they send me, which is great. I see that arrived the other day. So, but happy Father's Day to all fathers out there, really. And just lastly, the singles charts. Taylor Swift is number 1 here. Olivia Rodrigo, which I haven't listened to, it's actually quite a good album, actually.
It is. It's very good.
It's called "You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love." US, Taylor Swift is number 1 with Drake's number 1 album. In Australia, nothing has changed. Still Olivia Dean and still Noah Kane. Now, the number 1 film right across the 3 countries is Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day, and just for this show, I have been to see it.
Yay.
And it gets 3 stars out of 5 for me.
Ooh.
It's a bit E.T. It's a bit. There's bits of it are great, actually, but it's very Spielberg. Emily Blunt is worth seeing for the film alone, actually.
Yeah, she's great.
It's not a great movie, and it is a bit long, 2.5 hours. but I did go see it for you guys, so 3 out of 5 from me. That was today.
Fantastic. Star Wars is definitely the best film that's been released lately, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of, if you look at all the different factors, I mean, obviously, Disney have got a massive budget. They've got a lot of people that...
It's just a giant Mandalorian episode.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
So.
But really, I mean, it's really good. It's got the kids hooked. It's got the adults hooked.
I'm probably going to watch The Mandalorian first before seeing it, so I'll probably watch it on streaming at some point.
It makes more sense if you do that.
I think it's probably good if you did.
I did love Andor. Andor was great.
Andor was good.
Yeah, Andor was the best one. Yeah.
I still feel like that Star Wars, it has a lot of the wartime, a few of the different wars, and so the early Star Wars has a bit of the German Gestapo with the and Andor
The
feels
blast was based on a Mauser gun, so it was actually based on a Nazi gun.
And, and Andor feels like when you watch it, it feels like you're watching some sort of Middle East conflict. It really does.
Yeah, it does.
It has that sort of
really
connotation to it. Yeah. Good news is we have got through all the segments except this one.
Hey.
Indeed, I thought a bit of fun. We are going to show some affordable synths first on Price Watch, and I think why not? Because it's not something that someone's asked me. It's like, you always show these weird things, and we can't afford them because there's $20,000. Well, probably because they're it makes news. That's why we show it. But hey, just so you guys, we're thinking of you out there. You're on a budget. We talked about budgets last week. I think this is a great time to buy used synths. If used synths are plummeting in their prices right now, people are getting desperate. They're knocking their prices down. Great time to buy an old JDXI, $335 US. This synth is so powerful, so powerful.
Yeah, it's very good.
It is really good. Now, what I'm going to do, each one of these, I'm going to paste a link into the chat. I will be definitely honest with you guys. I am a eBay partner, so there will be a little kick to me and the channel if you do buy it. But that's okay. It doesn't cost you any more, so it shouldn't worry you guys for that. So the first one is the JDXI. Paste that into the chat. If you want to go check that out, there's the link. That's the first one. I'll just go JDXI. Whoops. So people can know what that's about. Okay. Andy and I've got a JDXI. I don't think anyone else here's got the JDXI. I think it's just me and Andy. Andy, you've got the black one like this, haven't you? The fingerprinter.
No, I had the special edition that's easy to read.
Oh, okay.
It's
with
white
with the white.
The red on black is a terrible design, and it's
so you've got the same one as me, the white one
for fingerprints. Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, the white one is definitely worth it. You know what? It actually worth a lot more because they didn't make that many of them. So
they make them. It's just easier to read, but they're both. It's worth. If you can only get this one, it's definitely worth getting it.
Worth getting. Nice. It's got an analog synth in there. Actually, this was actually one of the first analog synths that Roland made that weren't outsourced to someone else. This is actually Roland making it themselves, not to Maleko with their Eurorack or whoever else. This was their own. There were two synths that they made at the time, the JDX-A and the JDXI. The JDX-A had the 4-voice analog synth, a little bit quirky. I don't think they kind of finished that synth properly. There's some quirky things with the filter and stuff on it. But this one, I felt like they finished it. They finished this one well.
And there's some hidden tricks on here. I've actually made covers of some famous tracks.
Yeah,
using just JDXI, and it's that powerful. You can a few tracks I had to use a little box on the side because of like some Blade Runner stuff or whatever I did. Or it was just too much. But in general, you can do a lot with just the box because it's 4 tracks, and there's ways to eke out more sounds with different registers on the same layers. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
And there's a great tool by Arnie who made it. It's called the JDXA Manager, and you can actually go in and edit the partials on it. It's a free piece of software. I think there's links on my Ranzee.com website if you want to try and look for that too. So shout out to Arnie too. He's a great guy. Right. So next is this one, the JD08 Boutique. I actually think this is one of the better boutiques that they made. Why? Because it's digital.
I like it.
They're not trying to fake, still voices and all sorts of stuff. It's a digital synth. It's not trying to be an analog synth, and it is digital. This is actually a digital synth being digital. I like the funky layout on this thing. I think it's actually pretty cool.
And try carrying the original around.
Oh yeah. And they had the sticky red syndrome as well. The original
red glue.
Yeah. So $324 US. I feel like is a pretty decent price for that. Maybe a little on the higher side, but I think anyone that's got a boutique. I mean, I've got one right here. boutiques. They're great. I think they're a great purchase, and it gets you. You know, if you can't afford the boutiques, you can always go with the smaller boutiques, the Rolkers. But the boutiques are good, and so that one there, the link for that one, JD08, which is the JD8080 or whatever. What's the one called again?
JD800.
JD800. That's it.
Yeah.
There's the link for that one if you guys are interested. Now, obviously, disclosure again. That's going to give me a kickback. And it's done on purpose. So, yeah, I don't make apologies. Now, this one I used to own. Actually, used to have a Gaia.
I still have it, yeah.
I sold mine. I actually repaired mine. I bought mine from a pawn shop called Cash Converters. You guys have them in the UK as well. And I went in there and it had orange nail polish on all the C keys. And obviously some sort of music teacher was using it to teach their student, I don't know, whatever. I don't know why, actually. Anyway, so I ended up, I went to Roland, got original keys, bought original OEM parts, replaced them, and redid the keyboard. There's actually a video on my channel about it. And had it for years. Never really, I'll be honest with you, I never really thought it was fantastic sound. I thought it was quite clinical in terms of all the Roland synths I've owned. I feel like that was one that probably didn't.
Did you ever hear the patches from Sweetwater?
Yeah. I thought the Sweetwater patches are great. And look, it's a lot of fun in terms of knob per function, immediacy. The arpeggiator on it is insane. In fact, if you actually want to have a great arpeggiator, this has got one of the best arpeggiators ever because it's actually
a great learning synth,
fully editable. Anyway, $350 US for this, I think, is a good price, and they're not as easy to get. I know there's a Gaia 2, an SH012 out, which is a silver, which looks like a Korg mini log. It's like the mini log clone. Anyway, so that one's out. I will give you the link to that. I don't know. I still think, for a beginner synth, it's great. It's a great synth. Definitely good. I think you can put batteries in them too, can't you, Andy?
If I remember correctly, yeah. It's cool. It's a great educational thing, and it's laid out kind of like a Moog where it's left to right.
Yep.
So it's
quite light as well. It's not heavy at all. It's quite light. So it's not really a backpack size, but you could probably put it in a bigger backpack, like a big laptop pack sort of thing. Anyway, that's it for the affordable synth. Sorry, guys, we're going to show you a couple of interesting products now. This is interesting because I actually remember showing this when it first came out. This is the Abstract Instruments Avalon, which is an analog bass line. The thing that was so cool about the Avalon, I've always loved this thing, is that it has the SEM filters cartridges on this, and you can see them at the back of the image there. 3.5K. I don't know if guys do a bit of research for me while I'm doing this. I think is 3.5K a bit steep for that, or is that because they're just really hard to get now?
It's considered the best clone of the 303. It's not original.
Well, it's considered the best non-copying 303 sounding. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't copy the 303.
And you had those cartridges for different features too.
Yeah. I loved how it had the cartridges. I thought that was insanely cool. Yeah. But anyway, that's that one. There's a few.
I can't find another one, Ranzee. I
think when it was new, it was like $1,200 or $1,500. It was kind of expensive. So.
Yeah, but this is the thing that they've actually, like in this case, they've improved in value. So that's interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. Anyway, the last one, obviously, because we had the cheaper Roland stuff, these are still fetching a pretty decent price. JP8080. We talked about this not that long ago on the show when they did the emulation software. So you can now get a complete VST emulation of the chipset on this, and they did it. You guys might remember we talked about it. They did an insane amount of reverse engineering to get this thing emulated. Like it was insane what they did to get this thing in. So if you don't want to spend $1,000 on an original JP8080 like you can here, you can get the emulator
This was cool at
version.
the time, though. You had the super saw, you had a feedback oscillator, it had some cool stuff. The module gives you a vocoder, which you didn't have in the keyboard JP8000. They're really good.
Super saw on this is the killer, right?
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
like
and the editing, it's like they have all the effects are knob based. Everything is like really editable, tweakable on the fly. Really easy to punch.
a little bit of menu diving in that tiny little OLED.
A little bit.
Not OLED, LED.
And you can layer patches too easily, so you get deep patches in there.
I would say this is probably your techno trance synth of the 90s. That's what this synth is. It's all over. So like I can name so many artists that have used this synth. You
Perfect
would,
ambient too. There's lots of really beautiful patches on it.
in your younger days, in your clubbing days, if you did that, you would have probably danced to this synth. That's how. Ian's shaking his head. I never danced to anything.
Did the clubbing thing.
I never danced to
did the clubbing
anything.
thing. No. I like
can
dancing,
dance
but
now. Just dance now.
All right, here we go. Just as a side note, I have found an Avalon baseline. 2,000, just under 2,200. So that's UK. So that price is probably right.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You know.
I mean, I did a little sort of left and right search when I picked it up, just in case. I always do that when I do my eBay stuff. I look at, okay, is there another one? Is there another one? Just in case there's a better price, and I'll try and get the cheaper one up for us. But yeah, sometimes it bites us in the butt, doesn't it? We get cheaper
Yeah,
ones.
it's in
got something
Germany
wrong with
that, and it's on Reverb, but it's in Germany. Yeah.
That's it for Price Watch, guys. What would you get? Would you get a cheap Roland synth like the JDXI or the JD08 or even the Gaia? I don't know how to pronounce that. Never have.
Pretty much out with any of them.
Abstract Instruments Avalon. What did you say, Daren?
Get the Avalon with all the cards. Yeah.
Yeah, any of them really. I mean, the Avalon, obviously. The JP8080, I always wanted one.
Yeah.
And like you say, the JDXI, good cheap synth as well. So pretty much everything you've shown would be I wouldn't mind that owning.
Yeah.
Also, the JP8000 was one of the first Rolands to have the nice modulation stick, not that little tiny where you barely move it, like on the Juno.
Oh, that's going to be a meme, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've just yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's
don't
really
meme me.
obnoxious.
Kidding.
Because some of the
Kidding.
modulation on this synth, I've done some tracks with a friend who moved out of the area a long time ago, and we had so much fun pushing the envelope, pushing the limits of this guy, because you had so much variability with that stick and some other settings on the box. So it's really cool.
It is a great synth. I feel like it's kind of underrated to a degree. It's underrated. I mean, when you think about $1,000 is not like unheard of for us to spend $1,000 on a musical instrument synth wise. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with that synth if you got that second hand for $1,000.
I think it's down to everyone who just assumes it was all for like the trance and 90s uplifting stuff and Supersaw, and everyone just thinks that's all it could do. So they've sort of like, but there's a lot more it can do than that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was just that it was just renowned for all that type of stuff, and everyone's just going, that's a Supersaw big trance thing. I'm looking for something else.
What are these guys talking about in chat?
What's with the Mickey Mouse and the?
I don't want to know. Actually,
I'm just contributing. I didn't start it, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know what he means now.
Oh,
yeah. Mickey Mouse reference to the noise that Andy was making when he was doing his.
Right.
Yeah.
oh,
The movement as well, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's,
yeah. I get it now.
I thought it was moving a very small stick.
Kind of like when Trump does the dance with the two hands like this, you know?
Don't know about you guys. I don't have
Yeah.
that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stick is free and moving.
Yes. Let's go to Synth Quiz Central and let's. Where are we? Where's my button? Let's release the third clue, which I think should put it to bed. Third clue is right there. Analog paraphony. Paraphony. It's a phony para.
It's just phony.
It's very. Stop being a phony.
Yeah.
Put your guesses in, guys, because I'm going to reveal the answer very, very soon. That should actually give. I think that should give it to you. If you put them all like a little jigsaw puzzle. Oh, I've got a synth in mind now. Harder to Google. Would you agree, guys? Harder to Google that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You Google analog paraphony and you're going to get a lot of answers. And it's going to it might give you the answer and you might be lucky. It might be the one that you want. But there you go. It's going to have a lot of answers. Now, yeah. How many guesses have we got in? That's what I want to know.
I was thinking
lots
Cog,
of
but I wasn't thinking the NTS one.
Lots of guesses. Wow. You're thinking Korg? Yeah? Okay. You're allowed to think Korg. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think I've got. Oh no, because earlier on I had the Korg T-shirt on. I got changed for the show. Like
You do. My other shirt, my Synth Geekery shirt's in the wash, so I couldn't wear it.
I think this needs to go in the wash actually.
I said to the
It's a bit
missus,
sweaty in here.
Yeah, I said to the missus, this shirt's a bit whiffy. You better chuck it in the wash.
Yeah.
I don't want to smell like a roadie. That do we, Ian? We don't want to smell like roadies.
No. That's the synth I wish I would have got rid of, Andy.
I think they want to put in someone already guessed, but I threw it in just in case it was missed. So,
So what made you choose the Minilog XD? The first clue?
I actually forgot the first clue, but based on what the other ones, I did it. So I forgot to write down the first clue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Open
source oscillators was not the first clue. That was the second clue.
Yeah, I don't remember the first one.
Right. Well, why don't we reveal the answer? Should we do that?
Yay. Yeah.
Okay. Down to Synth Quiz Central. We're going to stop the quiz, guys, because that means I can tell Dennis, Ian's best mate, Dennis, by the way. I can tell him to stop accepting answers, and I can now safely give you the answer. Arturia Microfreak.
It was Microfreak.
Yeah. And I believe we do have someone who guessed it, which I think was Droiden.
Yeah.
Was it Droiden? Droiden was the first one, was it? Yeah, Droiden was the
what
first
was the first clue again? Now that you spoiled it, what's the first clue? Because there's something about touch or something, right?
Yeah, so I'll tell you the first clue.
Power grounding issues.
Grounding issues.
No, you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So the power grounding,
Never
the power grounding issue is the if you actually don't use the right USB power connection thing on it, which is I don't know why Arturia get us into this power grounding.
Actually, it's
issue.
not even that. It's if you don't use any cable and just the battery, you have the issue. Because I've experienced.
Because then you can't use the capacitive
There's no
touch.
earth ground.
Yeah.
There's no earth ground.
So you can't use the keyboard. So that's
It works, but it's not as good.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay.
So that's what that's about. Open source oscillators. This could have been a whole bunch of different synths. Definitely would have taken you down a rabbit hole with Korg.
Freak as well.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I was thinking of Korg.
Yep. So the reason why that was written there was because they used the plates, oscillators in there and things like that, and obviously because it's got an analog filter, the one analog filter. That's where that one came from. So there you go.
That's how I knew it was.
Yeah.
Freak.
It's a bit harder for me to put these quizzes together each week because I have to make the clues cryptic so that it stops you guys from Googling. But I'm enjoying it because I feel like it's getting you to think a little bit outside the square with them.
Good.
Yeah. But I mean, look, when you put them all together, Could it have been another synth? I don't think the Minilog
not the-
XD. I don't think the Minilog XD has a
There's not a
grounding
grounding.
issue, so
No, it doesn't,
that
no.
cancels that out.
Yeah.
And
That's what I
what's-
get for missing the quiz.
I think the Wasp could have been a potential, but it doesn't have grounding and it doesn't have open source oscillators, so it's not
Yeah,
going
it
to
was
be a
just
Wasp.
pressure on a membrane, right? So
Yeah.
it wasn't.
So really, it does point to the Mini Freak. That's the only one that really points to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. I'm just reading the chat, seeing what the guys are saying. I like listening to what they're saying. Have we done everything? Can we do this? We can do this, Chris. Yep, let's do that. I cut it off short this time because it got too long.
Yeah.
Reset that for next week. Right. Ask us anything, do anything, say anything, be anything, whatever you want to do. The show is yours. Embrace it.
Talk to me, people.
I want to talk to Chris about his beautiful presentation that he did before.
Absolutely fantastic, Chris.
Yeah.
It was.
We're excited about what you've been doing.
And all the stuff with tiny blocks as well.
Oh, cheers.
I've never looked at tiny blocks. It's,
Yeah.
Well done, Sunshine.
Cheers. I thought it might have been a little long and boring. I apologise.
No.
Where's that coming from?
It's
don't
from.
know.
I think it's
Dogs
kids
having a
outside.
Fight or something.
Nice. Well, we've got
Droigan,
got some people.
just so Droigan is in chat, he definitely said microfreak. I've got it written in my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
You can't fake that because Dennis records everything.
Sure.
Um,
Yes, anytime, any questions about the module or the system, anytime's welcome.
okay.
I might drop shorter little examinations of individual blocks.
When you came up with the
over
idea,
coming weeks or something.
what was kind of frustrating you that said, right, I need to design this because I don't have this at home. I need to do this. What was it that you were getting frustrated that you didn't have?
Weirdly, and this will probably sound a bit weird, there were two issues that kind of head me down this road. One was I have some modules, 2 HP tune modules,
Yeah,
and I was never happy with the tuning
yeah,
of them.
me neither.
With the oscillators I had, it was not rock solid, and I happened to have a look at it, and I realized what CPU it was using, and it was something I had complete access to, and I could have written software to do it better. So that was the first thing that annoyed me about that. But the main thing was the frustration of having developed in pure data. That's sort of where it came from. And also I have a bit of history with the thing called patch blocks, which is Audio Chocolate used to sell them. They were a little company, and they had
Oh yeah.
little microcontrollers and
Yep.
two little knobs, and they had a visual block style programming language. I did a bit of development in that, and I also worked a little bit with the developer in customizing the MIDI in that particular firmware many years ago. There's actually a video on one of the first videos on my YouTube channel that talks about it.
That's the French guy, isn't it?
Made for it.
Is that the French guy?
I thought he was German.
German? Okay.
I thought he was German. Yeah. Trying to remember his name. Sorry if
I remember him.
Anyway, he disappeared. He kind of disappeared off the scene after selling his little company.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I had that idea. Sort of, I thought, a simple block system could be quite cool, but I had reservations about how that was written. It was very, it was only compiled for one operating system, and it wasn't being supported by anyone, and it was closed source, and then when the company went down, the whole ecosystem just disappeared.
Yeah.
but the frustration with Pure Data was because twofold. One was it was designed for computers with a decent amount of power. I mean, it was designed in the 70s, but it was designed for computers with power. It was not designed from the ground up to be run on small devices that, for example, run a lot of music making stuff, and so it had all sorts of assumptions in it. And although Pure Data has been very well sort of ported to many different platforms over the years, the compromises, oh my God, the compromises they made to get it to work have completely cut out the whole structure and elegance of the system, and it's just like hammering two things together. It frustrated the hell out of me because you couldn't tell where the problem was their implementation of Pure Data on a particular module you were using, or whether you just didn't understand Pure Data. And there was a little bit of Pure Data where it was like, oh, you need to understand the secret. There's a couple of secrets in how you understand how you can get Pure Data to do what you want. And I'm like, okay, no, you can't have all these.
Ian, doesn't the organelle use
secrets.
Pure Data?
Things can't be, you know.
It does. Yeah. I mean, and I bought the organelle because it was meant to be ported to Max MSP at some point. Never happened. Interestingly, I've been doing some more Max MSP of late, but I haven't got the latest version. I mean, Pure Data is a free version, but I found it's too frustrating for me, actually, when I did bits and pieces in Pure Data. Yeah. Max is ridiculously expensive now, and they changed Max. I think I started with Max 5, and we're now on Max 9. Now, at one point, you used to be able to port from Max. It was all part of the program, so you could make little BSTs and things. You can't now. You have to buy a separate thing called Rainbow, which is another 300 quid. So if you haven't got it, it's like 600 quid. It's dear, expensive.
Wow, what a
and
deal!
The upgrade's really expensive as well. I can't remember how much my upgrade is now. If I went, 400 quid for Max 9. And not much of a reduction. Mine, actually, I've just seen it, 400 quid for Max 9 and 300 quid for Rainbow, for you to be able to port things to other things. That's not.
I'm glad the Osmos has the free version. Otherwise, you have to pay for editing. So.
Yeah.
That's a bit annoying.
Yeah, so that's
What was that?
So that's another problem when a system disappears into sort of behind a paywall.
Yeah.
As it gets more popular. But I mean, the thing about Max MSP is it really has been driven by the sort of the high end of things.
Yeah, it has.
So I mean, Max is now used for doing video walls and video.
Yeah, actually, the video stuff. I'd like to do a bit more of that because I've got it. It is. I mean, I've got Max 8, so.
If you're wondering what's going on there, Droigen's added 5 gift memberships to the channel. So whoever's picked up those, I don't know who picked those up.
On him.
There you go. It says there.
Nice.
I don't even know who these people are. So congratulations.
A bunch of lurkers got them.
Yeah, Spence Wine. I don't even know how something or other. Elsie Douglas, Mauricio, whatever, and Alan. Well done. Don't even know who you guys are, but well done.
Brilliant.
You can thank Droigen for that. He's given you a membership for
well done, man.
For a month.
Thanks, mate.
Droigen, you got to win 3 more quizzes, and then you can just get your elbow and knock Wagoo off the perch. Hey?
Yeah. Jolly wrestle.
Yeah, I kind of like you've kind of gone off on a tangent with the idea too, Chris, where you've gone okay, I started wanting to get something tuned better because I got frustrated. But then you went, you know what? I want to be able to save those tunings so that I can recall them if I want to plug those modules back in without me having to go back and recalibrate. So that was that was your first thing. Well, I think that was quite clever. And then the second thing you did is then you went, okay, well, while we're at it, we've got a bunch of other things that we can get this thing to do when you've started doing the I mean, it reminds me of computer science, actually, what you've done with your software. I don't know if you've ever learnt data structures in computer science. It's like you've got nodes. It's almost like a network.
It is
right?
a node editor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that is the model that's based on.
And it's kind of cool. It makes a lot of sense to me. So
a lot of systems are using it now. For example, 3D software. A lot of 3D software now uses the node model for doing processing and things like that. So you're talking about things like Nuke, which is a visual effects tool.
Mm-hmm.
I think DaVinci Resolve now uses
done it for years for layered Photoshop
Blender,
type tricks as well. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Blender famously uses it as well. Blender 3D. So yeah, it is the sort of stuff.
It's great for directors who want to see
yeah,
changes
the way,
on the fly. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's not quite real time. That would be lovely. Have an emulator in there as well. Be able to run the code before you put it on the module. One day maybe. But
if you had a USB connection, you could probably do that. I feel like you'd need some sort of data signal flow. Yeah, I was thinking more like mind mapping, Andy. So you might remember the original Java program, Mind Mapper, where you had an idea and then you mapped it to that idea.
I used to use that back in the day. Still, there's a version for Mac.
It's been around forever. I think they used to teach. We used to teach it at uni. Like they used to teach students to map out your ideas. It's some sort of relationship. An idea has a relationship to a bigger idea, or child ideas, parent ideas, if you want to look at it that way.
I mean, I think I discovered it when I first started my degree in computing, and because I'm dyslexic, it opened up the whole world for me to be able to use it. I mean, I used to do that stuff on paper before that.
Yeah.
And I'd read the books, because there's a couple of books, isn't there, by I can't remember his name now, the author. I used to have him. The guy who first came up with it back in the 70s. I
can't remember.
No.
But
They had a great demo at SIGGRAPH when the Terminator 3 came out, and they had Inferno was this high end. It's kind of like Nuke, but it's fancier. And they showed the palette of all the different light sources on the robots as they're coming up the water, and just quickly drag this light source, change this color, change this attribute, change this filter. It's like boom, 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 boom. Super fast node-based stuff. It's really cool. But that stuff was so crazy expensive back then. It was not even funny. So
big budget movies. Yeah. Imagine how many like ideas have gone into sort of code development just to make someone's life easier in getting a scene shot in a movie, right? To automate something, or to make an actuator turn on, in a car when they're doing a chase scene or whatever. I reckon there'd be so much code development over the years. It'd be interesting to talk about.
But how nice is it to be able to do that on the fly with the visuals, whereas for the music, like Ty Unwin has to redo a cut every time they change something.
Yeah.
They listen to it and they go, no, got to redo it again and redo it again. Yeah. Instead of going click, 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 click.
I once did a score for like there's a place in my town called Whopper, which is the West Australian Performing Arts, and it's like it's like a sort of, I don't know if you'd call it a super TAFE or whatever you'd call it, Chris, but it's where all the the drama students go and learn their craft, and there's some very famous people that have become Hollywood actors that have come from Whopper. So anyway, we won't go there, but I had to do a score because this guy knew that I was a synth head, and he wanted a synthy sounding, sci-fi sounding soundscape to his 2.5 hour long movie, and it was a pain in the ass. It really was. It wasn't easy at all, because what I found I was doing was he didn't give me a lot of scope. He just said basically he mapped out, gave me the score to read, so I could not the score, the screenplay, sorry, to read, so I could actually because there's notes in the screenplay that tell you things that you aren't actually seeing on the screen. So this tells the actor, give this feeling when you're acting, you know, that sort of stuff, right? So that's actually really handy because when you're writing music, you can try and portray some of those feelings or tensions and things like that. And yeah, but then I found the difficult part was like I'm wanting to put sound effects in.
So somebody else is doing the sound effects and you're just doing the composition, yeah?
Yeah. And then, so I ended up going back to this guy and saying to him, do you want me to put sound effects in the music? Because it kind of needs it. And he goes, just do whatever you want. Anyway, so, okay, fine. So I went in and I put sound effects in and I use, noise through filters and arpeggiators and stuff like that, making sort of synthy sound effects. Explosions and swishy sounds and all sorts of kind of weird effects through modulation and stuff like that, and that would be on top, layering through on top of the music. So it's kind of almost like I was the special effects sound guy and the composer, and it's never usually like that. You don't get the same sort of person doing that. Anyway, so when I submitted it back to him, I laid it I did it through Adobe Premiere, and I put the soundtrack on to his original movie score and put it back, and he gave me the audio stems and everything like that. So in a way I kind of almost semi-mixed his movie as well, and I sent it to him and he replied back and said thanks, and that was it. He used the whole thing, didn't come back, didn't ask me to retake it, nothing.
He didn't get paid for this then?
No, it was a pro bono love job.
Wow.
Yeah.
No coming back, can you change this, didn't like it. That was it. Just thanks, done. And then he published it. It was crazy. I'll send it to you, Chris, so you can watch it. Terrible movie.
Yeah.
I've only done very short things, but I did do the series of short stories. So, but the agreement I had with the editor was that I was doing sound effects and composition. So I'm the only composer working on it, really. And Dave, he was no mate of mine, so he did send me notes occasionally. It was never completely, I'd send him it, and then he'd send me a few notes and I'd fix it. But it was, but to get no notes is a bit,
Oh yeah, I actually, in a way, I was kind of annoyed because I didn't feel like I finished it. I felt like it was unfinished, and I was kind of hoping they'd listen to it and come back to me and go, "Oh, can you just do this
collaboration?"
Yeah.
But he was.
That means he basically took all of your hard work and he phoned his part in. Basically, he didn't care.
He didn't care.
Yeah, which is terrible.
Yeah. And it had this real sort of eerie, like murder in the bush sort of vibe to it. This, like almost like a science fiction, but it was like a murder in the bush vibe to it, which is kind of a typical Australian sort of theme now to movies. Obviously Wolf Creek's huge.
Oh, Wolf Creek
around the world, right?
Wolf Creek is a great film. Film.
But I had to sort of portray this real sort of eerie vibe with the music, and he said he said he was happy with it. So okay. And it's funny because at Whopper they've got the place that I was talking about, right? They've got friggin' hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of musicians there that would eat me for breakfast in terms of skill. Honestly, some of these people have gone through they've played violin since 2 years old and gone all the way through their school, probably won scholarships at their school, and then gone into university and they're doing their music degrees. And, there's hundreds of people like that there just walking down the corridors, and he picked me because I was some computer science lecturer that he knew that I was a synth nerd.
It's funny. Back in 2000, what was it, 2008, I think it was. I was on this filmmaking blog for prosumer cameras and stuff. We're doing little, kind of like hardware jams, but with films. And we're making little weekend films and challenges and all kind of stuff. And this one guy kept showing up. Hey, guys, want me to score your stuff? Just out of nowhere, like a young guy. His name is Justin Durbin. And go look on IMDb. He's scoring all kinds of shit now. He started out as a little guy, messing around in the blogs, making little projects for people. And he's like a major scoring guy now. So it's kind of funny. He just got a lot of experience and does good work. So.
The guy who does, I've forgotten his name, but he does a lot of the Bond stuff. He did latterly do the Bond stuff. And he shared a flat with a friend of his who was a filmmaker. And I think he did 35 or 36 mini movies, little short films for his mate for free because they were sharing a flat together. And then his mate got the job to do, I think it was, it's a film with Bjork was going to be singing one of the songs, and suddenly it's got a big budget and he's got to work out how to, score this film. But he knew, it's like taking that opportunity when it comes up. He'd made 30 odd films before it, and he was able to do it because his mate, they'd done it together, And then obviously after that, David Arnold. Thank you, Wagyu. Yeah. So yeah, it's David Arnold.
Oh, he's been on Kent's Pub talking about stuff. He's a good guy.
He has. I mean, I went to a lecture with him a few years ago, and he was telling the story of how he got into it, but so that's where he relayed the story of his flatmate.
Did he do?
Is that your side, Ian?
Did he do all the Bond movies?
Sorry? Not all of them. No, he's done the later. He did the later ones.
So the Daniel Craig sort of era.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But he did quite a few films before that. I want to say the first major film he did was something. Was it The Americans or The American? It had Michael Caine in it.
That's literally two different films.
Yeah, I know. And
okay, the Michael Caine one.
The Michael Caine one, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know
and
the one you
Bjork
mean.
sang the theme song.
Did Michael Caine die? Is he still around?
I thought he was still around.
Yeah, still around.
I know every so often he'll do a film and he'll say, "This is my last movie." So he's in semi-retirement, I think now.
He always does.
It's Michael Caine.
He always does that real Cockney,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
crime lord type role, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the film that it's what's it called? I need to look up Michael Caine films now. But that film that he did, which was
only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Doors off. Well, that was that was the Italian Job, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Hang on, I've got an idea.
Yeah, we just giving the film away. Yeah.
He's really terrible in Jaws 4: The Revenge, where the shark follows the woman to Florida.
Yeah. And
that was the worst Jaws movie. That was the worst Jaws movie.
Yeah. What was the one?
I actually watched Jaws, the first one, recently, just because I hadn't seen it since, I don't know, when I was a teenager. And obviously I'd seen it when I was a kid, when it first came out. And I laughed my head off that scene where the shark comes up onto the back of the boat. I was just laughing my head off.
That dead sort of head moving around.
Get Carter.
Oh, Get Carter. That's the one you're talking about.
Get Carter is an amazing movie because he's done,
yeah.
And obviously the Human League did a cover of the theme from Get Carter. But that is such a great movie.
Yeah.
Have you guys been to Universal Studios at all? Where they have the Jaws part of the tour where it comes up and pretends to bite and it splashes water?
Yeah. It didn't bite me.
There's a video. The South Park guys made a video about Universal Studios, and Steven Spielberg is the driver of the tour, and he's like, "Okay, everybody, watch out! Something's gonna happen here." It's just, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I did the Universal in Florida that I did. I'm sure there's more than one, isn't there?
There's Florida
and Orlando.
So
Yeah, it's the Florida one that I went to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think. There was a really famous Michael Caine quote that I'm just.
I like The Man Who Would Be
Yeah, he's
King
90.
with Sean Connery.
Yeah,
That's a
Sean
good one.
Connery. I've seen that.
Michael
Yeah,
Caine and Sean Connery.
He's 93. He's Maurice Micklethwaite. Wow, what a great name.
Was that his real name? Was that Maurice Micklethwaite?
Yeah, my Maurice Joseph Micklethwaite. Yeah.
Is it really?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
You can understand why I went to Michael Caine. My name is Michael Caine.
Yeah.
But he sort of defended the crap movies he's made. He sort of defended them in the sense that he said, "Well, so I'm a paid actor, so I'll take the job. If I'm not working, you know." Because there is always this thought that, you know, if it's a crap movie, it's because the lead actor's film. But it isn't. It's the director's film. You know.
Well, it's like The Hand. Remember The Hand? Where he's the writer and the hand gets loose and gets cut off.
Yeah.
Killing people.
Yes. Yeah. It's doing all that.
It's a remake of a 50s, the Crawling Hand, a terrible movie from the 50s or 60s. Yeah. You can hear that coming through the headphone bleed.
Yeah.
Would
Cockney
you like
accent.
me to bring around the Batmobile, Master Bruce?
Yeah, his last film was 2023, which was The Great Escaper. I saw that. It's all right, actually. Him and Glenda Jackson. It's a comedy drama thing. It was quite good. In a sort of gentle sort of way, you know.
He's been good in plenty of stuff, yeah.
He has, actually. Yeah, more good
Remember
movies than bad ones.
Remember Alfie, the old movie Alfie, when he was really young?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jazz soundtrack.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Dress to Kill. Brian De Palma's Dress to Kill.
I've seen Dress to Kill. So I can't remember that much about it. But Educated Rita is a good one.
Kind of thing. Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah, Dress to Kill. Yeah, 1980. Yeah. Brian De Palma. Yeah.
It's De Palma's Hitchcock ripoff period. So.
Yeah, it is.
He ripped off Antonioni's Blow Up.
Of course, he was in
stuff.
I forgot he was in Interstellar.
All right.
Yeah, he was in
Because
Interstellar,
he did the Batman movies, didn't he, as well as Alfred.
Christopher Nolan liked him, didn't he? Because he always
he did. Yeah,
paid a bit of a cameo in most of his films, even if it was only a small part.
Yeah, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. That's a classic. Yeah.
Someone needs to collate all the Michael Caine, the best grabs he's at, and just put them on a little sample reel. I reckon that some of them are just hilarious. Obviously,
it's like Kevin Bacon.
You
only
only
tons of movie.
You were supposed to only blow the doors off. Is that's just a classic, obviously, that one. But yeah, there's a few. Anyway, I think we are probably hitting the end of the show.
We're getting into crumpet
Cool
time
beans.
now,
Crumpet.
I do.
I've not had any crumpets for a while.
Before we finish, let's not talk about crumpets. Before we finish, for fuck's sake, I do want to wish Ben Simpson a happy birthday. So happy birthday to Ben. Haven't seen Ben around for a while. I don't know if he's been watching the show or not, but big shout out to Ben. I'm sure the message will get out to him. So he's a lovely chap, Ben. Actually, I'll tell you something about Ben. And a lot of you probably would share a similar thing going back maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, we used to probably get frustrated sometimes when we'd post things on Facebook and there'd be these big egos coming in and, you know, shutting you down and making your life feel, you know, not that nice. And so Ben actually started the Facebook group Pro Synth Network. It wasn't called that originally. I can't remember what it was called first. And it was him and Robbie and a few others. Chris, the guy from the US.
Chris,
US,
Synthient.
Yeah.
Chris
Synthient. Yeah.
Chris Synthient, yes.
There was a few of them anyway. And so, and basically what happened is Ben was actually talking to me and I said to him, I just had enough. There was a couple of synth groups that I was a member of and I just had enough of it. And I just said to him, I can't be bothered, you know, contributing to these groups anymore because, you know, there's too many egos in here and they feel threatened if you're popular or you know you're well known. They feel threatened, so they attack you. And I just thought, I don't need this. This is not what I want. And Ben's like, I'm going to start one, and he started one, and he said the rule is that if you come in here, you're in a place where everyone's a mate. You're in a place where you're safe. You're a mate. You can speak how you want. But we don't want to have, you know, if anyone wants to start taking over and being a big ego or anything like that, they're not really, gatekeepers. We don't really want them. And I have to say, hats off to Ben because it was pretty ballsy for him to do that. Because I don't think, if you think about any sort of social media group, it's not an easy thing to do what he just wanted to do, right? And it worked to as best as you could get it. I mean, I feel like if you guys look at that Pro Synth Network Facebook group, it's a great Facebook group.
He seems like a cool guy. He's also a very talented player. Watch him play in his band. So.
Yeah. Well, didn't he play with Visage?
Oh, I don't know about that. I just know about his cover band. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, his cover band works every weekend, all the time.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so happy birthday to Ben, and hope he's having a great Saturday. He's probably gigging. Yeah.
Probably is. Yeah,
he probably is.
And yeah, anyway, you guys, hope you enjoyed the show. Next week we have some Eurorack stuff to get through, so hopefully we'll be enjoying. Don't worry, it'll be synth stuff as well.
I can have a sleep then, can't I? When that's on,
you can have a sleep. Yeah, yeah. Well, bring your credit card in.
The gas is going to build up. He's going to buy one sometime.
No.
Yes. Dear.
I won't stay married.
Yeah. Well, there's been a few that I've had come across my desk, and nothing here personally, like physically, but come across my computer desk, that is, and I want to share with you guys. And I feel like we should be talking the praises of those people anyway. And on that note,
and the good news is that bookcase right behind you is a perfect size for a vertical Euro.
Yeah.
It's too far away.
Full of books and
that is a long way away. That's a 61 keys.
Turn around. It's like Neil Peart when he played the drums in different ways. He would turn around and play the.
Can't reach it.
No, it's too far across the room.
It's a long way away. It's like about 3 meters away from me. Yeah. All the cool stuff's just here where I can touch it. That's where the cool stuff is. And
all the cool stuff is in front of me.
I've got stuff here and stuff here. So, you know. Anyway, we are going to go. Bye all. Enjoy. See you next week.
See you next week, boys and girls.
Bye.
See you, folks.
Bye.
Thanks for coming, guys.